You're playing copyrighted music?
What if I sang copyrighted music?
Oh, that would be really rude. Not gonna lie, that would be evil. you're gonna do me like that? Were you gonna try to get me DMCA'd here? Is that what we're trying to do?
Ooh, I can hear you doubly. Okay. What if I was like, just start singing Eminem? Because I'm honestly, I'm white. I can rap pretty good.
You're gonna pull out the rap god?
Oh yeah, I'm a rap.
All right, do it. Go for it. Go for it. Sing rap god for us real quick.
Let's see. Jesus, what in the heck? Why can't I'm all of a sudden like drawing a blank on these Eminem words. why? No. I used to know this shit though. Like seriously. Oh my.
I don't doubt you. It's just okay. You're getting put on the spot here for like the 4 people that have arrived so far.
What? Okay, I remember. You know that song Superman.
Yeah.
You know you want me, baby. You know I want you too. They call me Superman. I'm here to rescue you. I want to save you, girl. Come be in Shady's world. Oh boy, you drive me crazy. Bitch, you make me hurl. They call me Superman. Leap tall hose in a single bound.
That's awesome. That's so good.
Got no ring on this finger now. I'll never let another chick bring me down in a relationship. Save it, bitch. Babysit. You make me sick. Superman ain't saving shit. Girl, you can jump on Shady's dick.
Okay, what a start. What an absolute banger start.
How about that? Okay,
that was awesome. I fucking love that. That was great. Anyway, hi chat. What's up? How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're live.
We are live. We've been live for a minute and a half, approximately.
Okay.
Stream's already great. I know, right? The stream's absolutely popping so far. Anyway, so the plan for today is we're honestly just gonna talk. The idea is just chit chat. I have 3 conversation topics that I want to go through, just like general stuff, so you guys can get some insight into what we're thinking and what we're gonna be doing into the future and so on and so forth. But other than that, we're just gonna talk shit like we always do. Like this is just a streamed version of our occasional voice call where we just talk shit and have a good time, you know?
Fuck me, bro.
For sure. Yeah, we just recorded a spicy video. It's gonna go.
Oh hell yeah! I'm so excited for that video to go live. It's gonna be fun.
Love both of your guys' content.
Cool, man. Thank you so much for the tier 1. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and I can see chat, by the way. I can see what you guys are
awesome.
saying.
I'm
right
excited.
Underneath my camera, so it looks like I'm looking at my camera, but I'm really just looking at chat the whole time.
I got my chat over this side so you can like physically see my head.
I'm not even
turning.
looking at Aeon. Like,
wow, you're not gonna be looking at me? My ego is shattered. Oh no.
I can see out of the corner of my eye, Aeon. Yeah.
Anyway, the first thing I wanted to go into honestly was just like your YouTube and your routine and stuff, like how you've gone about it, because both of us have been in the whole YouTube scene for a really long time at this point. You more so than I have, obviously, but like,
yeah,
how has your
routine become? Specifically, though, when it comes to GD specifically, you've been around like as long as I have, right?
I've been around since 2014.
Kind of come and gone, but
yeah.
Like, I've been in general on the YouTube scene, but on the GD YouTube scene, you've been around just as long as I have, I think.
Oh, I've been around for so long. I mention this every now and then, but like, if I go back to like my first uploaded recording from GD, it's like February 2014, so I'm on my 7th year.
Yeah.
But I have my couple years of hiatuses though, so I don't know. I don't really count it as 2014 when I started. I kind of count 2017 as like my start.
Yeah, like after you did Subsonic, you stopped for a long time and you were like, oh yeah, I'm struggling. I want to do other content and get away from the GD community. He was about to abandon us, guys.
I was about to leave you. I was like, yeah, fuck you guys. Urgh. People suck.
I want to play Persona all day with
Hey,
waifus.
Okay, listen. It's not the worst game I could have chosen, okay?
No, hey, dude, I love Persona. Honestly, I mean, you newcomers are so weird. I've been playing it since Persona 3. You know?
Wow, okay, I'm sorry for not being old. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude.
I should get around to playing Persona 4 and 3, though. I own Persona 4, I just haven't had time for it yet.
They're good. They're really good games. Yeah, they're all fantastic.
Like, when I talked about routine, the thing that I meant was, like, thinking about was that, I talked about this to, like, a friend of mine yesterday, how, like, oh, it's so nice to have, like, you can, like, choose your hours, you can choose whenever you want to do stuff, you can do YouTube whenever you feel like it, kind of thing. But I kind of, like, thought about it, and it's, like, it is basically a 9 to 5. Like, I sit down at the exact same hours every single day. It's like, even though I can choose my hours, I don't really do that.
Yeah, well, you know, when it comes to things like streaming in particular, it is similar to 9 to 5 because you have a schedule and you adhere to it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the YouTube side of things, it is not routine. Like, and it's a lot of times people think you make your own hours. Like when I was doing especially variety content, like now with GD, I can kind of do stuff whenever, but still like when things happen in the community, like if GD 2.2 comes out, you can bet your ass it's like, oh man, I had plans this weekend, all plans canceled. Time to make videos about 2.2. This is what the algorithm needs. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Shit, I was gonna go visit my in-laws' family this weekend. No, 2.2 came out.
I was gonna get married this weekend. Fuck that. I'm playing Geometry Dash, dude. Screw marrying someone. Geometry Dash. I'm a dasher at heart. No, but
I mean,
for me, it's like
examples of things like where, you know, clearly you'd be busy. Like if the worst would be like, I think I had this really distinct fear before 2.1 came out. I was like traveling. I had a bunch of traveling I had to do that year, and I was in Japan, and I was like, if 2.1 comes out while I'm in Japan, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Yeah, I can see that. But for me, it's like I always wake up around like 10-ish a.m. and then I get on my computer and I edit until I'm just done, so I have video for the day. So like the only times I like stray away from my routine is if I know that I have stuff the next morning, so I have to edit in advance. So I edit at night. But I always wake up around the same hour and I just edit because it's just a nice routine to have. So I get into like the workflow before my streams.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Because then I'm in like the groove for it.
Cool. A routine can help a lot with YouTube, and it is like a 9 to 5 if you can stick to your routine, right? Not everyone's good at sticking to your routine. Like some days, for me, I have fluctuating energy levels. Like I've never been diagnosed. I'd hate to call it like bipolar disorder. My dad had bipolar disorder that was undiagnosed, but like I'd hate to call it that without being diagnosed because I don't want to be that guy, right?
Yeah.
But I do have fluctuating energy levels, and like some days I wake up and I'm like, man, I really gotta force it today. Holy crap. And then like I might be sluggish and slow at doing stuff. So what I've tried to do now, which kind of goes against having like a normal routine, is like if I have a lot of energy one day, I'm like, I'd better record like 3 videos.
Oh, I wish. The issue for me is that I pull out like I just pull 1 or 2 ideas for a stream unless I'm working on a hard level like I'm doing right now. It's just like I crank that out and I get stuff done. There's very rarely that I go through multiple videos in one stream. I have done it before. I have cranked out like 3 videos in a stream before. I should get much better with that, honestly, because it helps me a lot. Because I'm always like in the worry that I won't have a video ready and I'll be stuck on a level for a really, really long time, and it just stresses me out that I don't have content. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
So I should probably get better at just cranking out videos whenever I can on stream.
Yeah, for sure. That helps. You know, the nice thing about streaming is that that's really helped me get more content out, especially for my second channel, Mario Maker. It's like I stream like all that stuff that turns into videos, and it's much easier to make videos out of Mario Maker content. So with the Twitch streaming, because like with Mario Maker, when you do endless stuff in Mario Maker, you're basically, people are so interested in these random levels that are being thrown your way, and they're like, ooh, what levels is he gonna get this time? What struggles is it gonna be? And it's basically like hit record, play a bunch of levels and stop. Whereas GD, it's like if you're doing a hard level, that could take you a few hours, you know?
Yeah, you kind of like have to have a plan. GD is so hard to make content out of
now. Like when fucking we were, you know, younger. Okay,
when we were wee lads.
When we were wee lads in the GD community. Like in 2015, you could literally get like 100K video being like, I be problematic. And like, you know,
I wish.
Like, it was so much easier to make content that people were interested in. But now like the bar has been raised. So like to make content for GD, it's a little bit harder these days. I mean, I can still do silly ass recent tab stuff, but it better be like decently edited. It better be kind of funny. Like I've recorded recent tab videos where I'm like 30 minutes in and they're just nothing really interesting has happened. It's just the same old, and I'm like, God, I gotta ditch this shit.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I like about streaming personally, because even though the topic may not be the most interesting, I have those like funny moments with my chat that can just become good content. So like if I do something like recent tab, but I do it on stream, while the recent tab itself doesn't necessarily need to be very interesting, I can be interesting with my chat because I'm not interesting on my own, so I bank on other people being interesting.
Yeah, for sure. That can happen too, and I mean, there's interesting ways you can go about doing stuff. I find
Yeah.
like as a content creator, you just one of the main skills to have is to make things seem more interesting than they are, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because they're
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, there's fascinating things about the recent tab that I find all the time. Like one of my favorite things is like rating people's goodbye videos, like goodbye GD community, I'm done with this game for good. Like the text appears
It's
on
funny
screen,
that
and
you
think
mentioned that
it's
because
the
I watched your
funniest
new
thing.
recent time video right before this, and I saw that. How you were like, "Wow,
Like,
this is so much more positive than normal."
Yeah, like I love that kind of stuff, right? And it's so funny to be like seeing like so many like goodbye messages, like people that like you look at their profile and they have like maybe like one challenge or like barely anything uploaded, and they're like, "Goodbye, GD. I'm gonna miss the community so much." I'm like,
Very
"Alright."
dramatic.
Yeah, it's so dramatic, and I'm like, wow, dude, I didn't know you had such an attachment to this game. And like, you know, like there's little things to look for when you're doing stuff like that, and there's ways to make interesting content out of things that for like someone else they wouldn't be able to make interesting. And that's part of being
Oh,
a
yeah,
content
definitely.
creator, is like making things that might seem uninteresting to a lot of people, but making them interesting.
I think that's like one of the things that really set aside good content creators, or like great content creators to good content creators, is the ability to make uninteresting things interesting.
Yeah.
So like just being
For
able
sure.
to take something that's already been done like a million times, like the recent tab, and just putting a funny twist on it, or just doing it in a special way that makes it more interesting to like keep it fresh. Because one of the
For
things
sure,
that I
yeah.
noticed a lot with GD content as of recently, up until like 2020, was that a big part of the reason why I came back to make content was because I felt like the content is good, but it's just not evolving. So I wanted to
Yeah.
try a lot of new things, trying to put new twists on things to like make things more interesting, because I feel like that was something that was needed, and 2020 really pushed that. And I think 2021 is
for
going to be
sure.
even better, because
2020 was a huge year for
oh
the
yeah,
GD
because I feel like
community.
2019 was so just dry. Just
Yeah.
everything was just the same. Everyone was just repeating the same things because it worked. And then no one tried to do new things. And then COVID hit, and then people just try to do more fresh stuff because otherwise you would be on recent tab video 437 at this point.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no, I in 2019 I was just doing. In 2019 I almost stopped GD actually.
Oh really? Why?
Mario Maker 2 had just come out, and there was actually 2 months around when I was making about 4 Mario Maker videos on my main channel per one GD video. And the
I
Mario
remember
Maker
that
videos-
actually.
Mario Maker videos were getting about like 60 to 70k views per video, and the GD ones were getting like 30k. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess maybe I should really focus on the Mario Maker content. Mario Maker 2 just came out. It's fresh. I'm loving it. You know, I was really into it. Still, I'm pretty into it. I was still into GD, but I was like, maybe GD is going to be my side game from now on. Sure. So I just was pushing in 2019. I was just pushing like Mario Maker like all year long.
Yeah, I remember
but
that
then-
actually, because I think we had that conversation at one
yeah.
point. How you were like,
We did, yeah.
yeah, because you were like contemplating the idea of splitting your channel, because you were talking about how like one game hurts your main channel over the other, so on and so forth.
Oh yeah.
So it was like
Oh, it did.
having
yeah.
that hard time doing that. I think what made you choose Mario Maker over GD to a second channel was the fact that GD just had your core audience, right? So it had a bigger chance of maintaining, I think, right?
Well,
Or
no,
am I
it
pulling
was,
shit out of my ass?
Well, basically, what happened was Mario Maker 2 in the like took over in the algorithm for my channel, and there was like 2 months where I just like if I uploaded something GD, no one watched it. I was like, wow, like compared to Mario Maker, no one watched it. Like the algorithm did this switcheroo thing where all of a sudden it was like, oh, your channel's Mario Maker now. Here you go, boom, and it was pushing all my Mario Maker content. But then because I had so much past GD content on my channel that was still getting views, as like the initial interest in Mario Maker 2 wore off, and I was getting like 10 or 20k less views per video on Mario Maker 2, which is natural. The hype wears off. It was like this algorithm battle was going on. It was like, is he a GD channel? Is he a Mario Maker channel? We don't know.
Yeah.
And then even
Okay,
though
yeah,
I was uploading
that
like
makes
4
sense.
Mario Maker videos per week, GD was like, bloop, and then it popped up again. And then my one GD video per week was getting like 80k views, and my Mario Maker videos were getting like 15k again, and the algorithm did a old switcheroo. And I was like, okay, well, Mario Maker's going on a separate channel, and
Gotta love
GD staying on the main channel.
gotta love the algorithm. That's exactly why I'm struggling so hard to change stuff, because I get a lot of comments about this, like on my recent video where I talked about the whole, do you want to do other content on your channel, Aeon? I was like, I do on Twitch occasionally. But YouTube is so finicky because YouTube is such a bitch about the algorithm. It's so hard because on Twitch, people are watching you then and there, and then they're going to continue watching you because there's no algorithm to decide whether or not they're going to find you or not. But with YouTube, it's like, if you stop uploading that thing, fuck you.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, YouTube hates that. Like if you upload like one thing that's different from what you're normally uploading and people don't watch it, then YouTube's like, well, if you upload something else that's different from that one thing, we're not going to upload it.
Yeah,
but if you're
exactly.
If you're a variety content creator though, and people watch, like, you upload something different than the norm, maybe you're a horror variety content creator and then you upload something different but people watch it, and the next video you upload that's different, YouTube's like, well, looks like your fan base likes variety stuff. Haha, we'll share everything. But that you got to be lucky to be able to pull that off, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like why I tried to be clever with my recent video, because it's not a jump dash video, but like I made the title and thumbnail revolving around jump dash just to like gather that initial interest in it for people to click, because I do recognize the fact that jump dash is what's going to get clicks from on my side, right? So it's like you got to play smart around it. Like, I want to make a GeoGuessr video because I've been really into GeoGuessr recently. I played it a lot on stream.
Dude,
and I want to make like a knockoff geography dash video because that would be funny.
Dude, make a knockoff geometry dash video on your main channel. But honestly, you know what? Fucking, I can't stress this enough. This is something that's gonna blow your mind, like something that came right from YouTube. Dude, like Jerkrat came to me too, and he was like, man, he's like, I'm known for GD, but I want to upload all this other content. I want to be more variety. What should I do? And I was like, make a second channel. I was like, just like make a GD channel, make a second channel, and then boom, just split them up and try to get known as a variety. He's like, I don't want to do that. He's like, I want everything to be made. I want people to like me for my personality. I was like, okay, good luck, bro. Tried to help you.
But yeah, but like, it's true though, because you wanted to do variety on your channel, and look at you now. You have 4 channels. What? 3 channels?
And it's fine. Like, and it's great. I mean, I have 3 channels. My horror channel I haven't been able to upload. It's a time thing. Like,
sucks. I like that channel. It's fun.
Consistently on 2 channels, which is still impressive as fucking.
Oh yeah, that's really impressive. You do have an editor for your Mario Maker channel though, right?
Yeah. My editor does like maybe like half the videos. I still edit half them myself. But she helps me a lot. Yeah.
I would love to do something like that. I feel like I probably will at one point.
Before we move on, this one thing that's gonna blow your mind is that there's this YouTuber streamer. He's a huge in the Mario Maker community. He's like a huge, like his stream especially. He's basically a full-time streamer called Graham Pooh Bear.
Oh, I love Pooh Bear. He's awesome.
Oh yeah,
I watch him for years.
Awesome. So anyways, he was in contact with YouTube, and he was uploading a lot of variety stuff on his channel, like his Hollow Knight streams, you know, cut down into videos. And he was in contact with them, and then his YouTube rep was like, my best advice to you, like this is from YouTube. They're like, don't upload non-Mario stuff to your main channel. They're like, just make a second channel. They're like, you'll get screwed. Like, just put Mario stuff on your main channel.
Okay.
That was like directly from YouTube. They're like, don't try different stuff. Just do that same thing you've been doing.
Yeah,
they're like,
I think that's
do
smart.
Different stuff, make a second channel. Like, don't mess with it, you know?
Yeah, I think I'm going to end up doing that. Just making a second channel where I can upload other things. Because not only is it just fresh for us as well.
You feel like when you upload to the second channel, even if it doesn't do well, you're like, but this is my freedom channel. I can do whatever the hell it doesn't matter, you know? Like, it's the stress of like that choice of, ooh, this might not be a good fit. This might affect me. You don't even have to make that choice anymore. You just like, you just separate them.
That's true. Yeah.
Easy.
I'll consider that for sure, because there are a lot of things that I do on stream that I really would like to make into YouTube videos, because they're really funny. People love the things that I do. Like, people have loved the Bloons Tower Defense stuff. People have loved the GeoGuessr stuff. People just love me messing around looking at Reddit for some reason. And it's just,
dude,
I can't put that on my main channel because I know it will affect me, like, hard.
For sure. Dude, make a second channel. Honestly,
I probably will.
The one thing that you just got to do, which a lot of people don't do, which I've actually just started to do recently, is like, you just got to promote that second channel. Be like, do you guys know that this is going to be on my second channel, like on your streams? I made a community poll on my main channel recently. I was like, hey, do you guys know, or like, I said, are you guys subscribed to my second channel? And then I put like yes or no, I'm not interested. And the other option was like, no, I didn't know about it. And then like, it was shocking. There was like 25% or something was like, no, I didn't know about it. And then like my second channel had like 28K subs, and I got like 4K subs overnight. Like,
Oh wow, that's actually crazy.
yeah.
I'll probably
Yeah,
consider
so-
something like that as well, because
Yeah.
who knows? Like, if I put out high quality variety content, like similar to stuff like what Ludwig does or like Miskiff does and stuff, who knows? Maybe the channel will do well. Like, sure, it's just a dump channel where you just put out things that you enjoy yourself, but you never know if it's gonna do well. That's the beauty of YouTube and beauty of content creation. You don't know when
Oh, hell yeah.
something's gonna blow up.
Dude, hell yeah. Yeah, and like my horror channel, I'm probably gonna switch to more like random shit too, like, you know, reactions and stuff with the
Yeah.
horror. And yeah, I'm probably just gonna start mixing it up when I do come back to it, because I will.
Yeah, and especially-
but I'm just like, man, just
and
happy
especially
with my two
for-
channels. They're doing good.
Yeah, exactly. And especially for someone like me who does a lot of like random stuff. Like I stream so much that I could probably produce daily content for 2 channels. Would I be able to edit 2 channels at a time? Probably not. That's a lot of work, but you know.
No, you just gotta eventually get an editor to help you out, yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day once I'm big enough to be able to afford it. The only reason why I don't want to have an editor right now is because it's expensive for someone like me who's not
Yeah,
as big,
it is.
and I produce so
Well-
much content, which makes it harder.
Well, you know, you would be surprised at how long of a way it goes just to have an editor edit like just a couple videos for you a week. Like, you don't have to give everything to them. You're just like, oh man, today I'm tired. Here's
yeah,
a video. You know,
definitely.
like just a little bit of help goes a long way. And a lot of people like try to go big where they're like, oh man, I gotta go hire an editor. If you went to Twitter right now and you were like, hey, I'm looking for like a beginner editor, you know,
Mhm.
maybe someone who's learning the ropes, that maybe you could learn the ropes through my like side content, and I'll just pay you like as much as I can. And like,
Yeah.
you know,
I've
they
had a
totally
couple
help you
people
out.
reach out to me by email about editing for me, so I might throw them a few for like a second channel. That would be
Yeah.
nice, actually. Maybe I'll do
Yeah,
that.
it
Not a
is
bad
scary,
idea.
like handing over the reins to
Yeah.
someone else, because like, you know, your own style of commentary and comedic timing, and so like, you know, like how you want your videos edited, and it is scary
Yeah.
doing it at first. But like at first, me too, my editor, I was like really scared to my Mario stuff, but you know, she pulled through, and like people are like, wow, I love this new editing, and I was like, okay. At the you know, at one point I was like, well, you guys didn't like my editing. You know? But I was like, okay, good though. I mean, good that you love her.
Wow, I
editing.
can't
That's
believe
great.
they're better than me. Shit, maybe you should just be the YouTuber instead.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
complain
now I'm
about
like-
it instead.
So now I'm just throwing more videos her way. Like, well, fine.
Yeah, I feel like that's good. I feel like it would just be
Yeah.
fun. And for a secondary channel, it's not like it has to be exactly point blank to what I'm used to making on the GD channel, if you can call it
For
that.
sure.
It's just like,
Yeah.
I feel like it would probably be a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
consider it. Because like I have one of my Twitch and Discord moderators as well occasionally makes me TikToks and stuff, because I've been using TikTok to grow a little bit, which is always fine. Those take like 10 minutes at most, so it's not like too much. And 9.5 minutes of that is just subtitles, so you know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because TikTok
Yeah,
is very big on
TikTok,
the
that's cool.
closed captioning.
I'm big on TikTok, yeah.
It's a very good platform to grow on.
I don't use
I had
just have
one video
one
go
TikTok
viral. I
that
got
someone uploaded from
12,000 followers in a day.
Jesus. Holy shit. Man, TikTok, man, so many people use TikTok. What the hell?
It's insane.
12,000?
I've
Imagine
uploaded
12,000 subs in a day.
I've uploaded 6 videos. I have 16,000 followers or something.
Jeez. Wow.
It surpassed my
Dude,
Twitter in 48 hours.
Dude, like one of the most viewed geometry dash TikToks is like one someone put of me in the recent tab of like a spike like getting away from me. I'm like, whoa, come on, come back.
Yeah,
whoa, something.
I have it in my
Dude.
TikTok video.
That's so stupid. It has like over 300,000 views or something. Like
My-
what? That
my
wasn't even, like,
viral
that funny of a
TikTok.
moment.
My helicopter clip from one of my artificial stunt streams has 2 million views.
Oh, gee, wow.
It has
Man,
500,000
TikTok's
likes. It's fucking insane.
TikTok.
That's like my entire channel
Wow.
in terms of likes. It's so dumb.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Fuck. I gotta go on TikTok, and I gotta go on TikTok and OnlyFans for sure.
Oh, dude, I keep getting mentioned. I keep getting annoyed about that. I was like, oh, Aeon, you're just 40,000 subs away from OnlyFans. Now let's go. Because I jokingly said last year I was going to make an OnlyFans for 100K. Not thinking that 100K was this close. And
Damn.
now I'm like,
Nice.
shit, it's closer than I thought. Fuck.
You know what? Maybe we should just make like a calendar and like only for the people who are over 19 for sure, and just have like the sexy men of Geometry Dash.
Oh, that was so funny.
Like a month. Yeah. And like no nudity, but like, you know, suggested nudity. Like we're nude, but there's like soap bubbles above our crotch, you know, like in the back. And so like we're not showing it all. It's just like,
oh, it's so good. That's so funny.
Sexy men of GD. We should do it. I don't know who's of legal age. I mean, Nepesta is technical, I imagine, over 19, right? Guitar, right? We already got like half the months. Right
Samifying. Samifying is a hot topic after space review.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it.
Oh my god, I'm fucking crying. That's
QC?
so funny.
QC do it.
QC would 100% do it. That's something QC would do. 10,000%.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's so funny. I don't even know what to say about that one, dude. That's just a great idea.
Let's do it for like we'll sell it for charity. You know?
Oh hell yeah. What charity would you want it to go for? Hot men in distress?
Oh, dude. Hey, honestly, as hot men, we don't need charity, okay? Because honestly, we're already living the life.
That's
Maybe,
true.
The charity for incels is what we need to do.
Oh no! You're gonna rustle some jimmies with that one.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I know that was.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. No, but like, unironically though, TikTok is such a good platform because it's so easy to make content for. You can easily get a video out per day. It takes you like 10 minutes, as long as you have good and funny clips, which is abundant, especially if you stream. There's an abundance of good clips and moments. So like, a video per day isn't really that hard. It doesn't take a long time to do. And it's so easy to just suddenly go viral on it.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know, you know more than I do, but like, why is it so easy to go on TikTok? Like, is there like recommended videos that pop up that like
the thing about
like,
TikTok,
how do you go viral?
The thing about TikTok is that it removes the idea. It removes the idea of having to click the video. So similar to YouTube, it just shows the video to a set amount of people. If enough people interact with it, it gets pushed to more people. But unlike YouTube,
is it like a
you don't have to
recommended
click the video.
section, or
You're
what?
just shown it immediately. You don't have a choice if you have to watch it or not. So you scroll down, your video is shown up. If enough people interact with it, it gets shown to more people. So the virality of TikTok comes from the fact that they remove the aspect of having to click on the actual video. So you immediately have to see the video. So it's just the interaction aspect. It removes the title, it removes the clickbait and everything. So the virality comes from it just being easier to consume.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to compete with other videos on the side in recommended. It's just shown to you immediately, and then you interact with it if you want to.
That's cool. And they're like all short, so it just
exactly.
keeps on like going and going and going. Yeah, that's cool.
It's like my helicopter clip that has 2 million views has 1 in 4 people interacted with it. Either if it's a comment or like that's like immediate, that is going to go viral. Like, if you look at your impressions for your video as well, like 100,000 views, impressions, you probably have like 1.5 million impressions, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So imagine TikTok being like your views is the interaction, so like your likes, but your impressions is the views that you get. So like every single TikTok you would post would be your impressions. That's why it goes viral so easily.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just
wild.
It removes one of the key holdbacks for YouTube videos to go viral.
Sure. Well, I want to do a little bit of a test then. I mean, I don't think this is actually going to work, but because you have a bit of a following on TikTok. Is there anyone in chat that's actually like found Aeon through TikTok?
I had one person say that actually.
Jeez,
like a couple of days after my helicopter clip came out, someone came into my chat and was like, "Hi, I found you through TikTok," and then everyone in chat, including myself, were like, "Holy shit, we made it, guys! Whoa!"
Yeah, wow. That's wild. Dude, I gotta get on TikTok. Holy shit. I got like a bunch of, I have such a backlog of just random funny clips, like my space locked fail and like all sorts of random stuff I could just put on.
Yeah,
there,
exactly. Right? It's such an easy content dump. Like you don't transfer a lot of YouTube or TikTok subs over to YouTube unless the content is very similar. So like you will have to put out a lot of content for people to actually want to go over to your YouTube or your Twitch streams. But it is enough to where it's worth it, because as I said, it only takes like 10-15 minutes to produce a clip. So if you can put off
Yeah.
10-15 minutes a day to post a TikTok, and a couple of them go viral, it can have like an actual impact on your channel. Like there's a lot of
Interesting.
up and coming YouTubers who over the past year have grown to like between 100 and like 100,000 to like 5 million subs on YouTube, who
Wow.
just started on TikTok, just making random shit. Like there's this one chef on YouTube, Joshua Weiserman or something. I don't know his last name, Joshua something. He makes cooking videos where he takes like fast food stuff and tries to make the fast food better. And he has like 3 million subscribers. He started like a year ago because he blew up on TikTok from just making cooking videos.
Yeah. That's super bananas. Holy.
So like if you have the transferability and make content good enough for people to want to check out your other stuff, TikTok is like the best place to grow easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without discussion even.
I wonder how that works with the GD community though. I mean, I imagine there's some carryover. It's probably not as prominent as something like as general as cooking or comedy skits.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sure
I think what you want to focus on with GD on
GD
TikTok is not the actual achievements you do, but like just the funny stuff. Grab them in by your personality, basically.
I'm the GD old funny man, so that's easy for me.
You should just give them one of your funny haha 69 jokes, and they're gonna be like, haha, I like that guy. Let's watch him.
Damn, easy views.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think that would be interesting. You know, I mean, I got a lot of stuff I could put on there. There's some jokes I overuse. There's some parts that have been genuinely funny. I got to go back to doing skits.
Skits are so funny.
I miss doing skits. God, I did even some of the skits I made that blew up were just the best thing ever. And like it was almost like trolly on my part though, but
yeah,
like some of I didn't mean to be trolly. I thought it was gonna be genuinely funny for people, but some people just take everything seriously and don't know how to take a joke. Like the 10 times speed one. That
one was awesome. I love that one.
Where I was like, oh my god, 10 times speed. I found this in the folder, and I looked in the folder, and the folder's name was just porn. And like not many people caught that. But
back in the day before you gotta censor yourself.
I opened it and it had like the 10 times speed icon that I had made in Photoshop, and then I like put it in, and people were like, "You didn't do that. It looks like." It's so funny though, because all I did is I video edited like the 10 times speed like PNG image on the, so it like kind of like in Vegas I had like it was animated, so it like moved with the screen. People were like, you edited that in the level to look like 2 times 10 times speed. I'm like, dude, in the level, I fucking
people are so YouTube comment section just blows my mind sometimes.
I was like so rough. Like I put a fucking PNG image like just moving over the top of the video. Like,
I still get comments about that occasionally, because my most viewed video is the Bloodlust as the Weekly Demon, which is just a dumb skit because Bloodlust was the Weekly Demon for April Fools. I still occasionally get comments on that to this day saying, no it isn't. I'm like, what do you mean no it isn't? Are you stupid?
It's like 3 years ago.
It's 3 years ago, my guy. What are you talking about? And it's just it's so stupid. People are so dumb. It's so funny to look back on.
Oh yeah, oh for sure. Like some of the comments from the old videos. I think the earliest troll one I did is before 2.1 came out. I did like the like, you know, at the time there were like the conspiracy videos with like the Illuminati eye, and they're like, oh my god, if you put 2 + 2 = 4, but you write that with a black pencil, and then the black means maybe there was a black man who was working in government who did this, and then they'd link everything together. I did one of those for like when 2.1 was gonna come out, and then everyone's like, dude, this is so fake. No fucking shit.
You don't say.
Yeah! No shit, it's fake. You idiot!
I remember when I did the Ado joke thingy when you were doing Ado, and I was like, wow, you're trying to roast me? Let me just erase you just to prove that I'm better thing. And people genuinely thought I was mad at you. I was like, no, this is so clearly a joke. What are you snorting, guy? What are you doing? Yeah. It's so obviously a joke.
I can understand why they would have thought that, because I'd just beaten you in like 2 races before, and it's like, well, maybe, you know.
Fuck, fair enough. Damn it. But like, I so clearly made it a joke. Like, I didn't even try to act properly. It was like, wow, Eric actually said that. Let me try and beat this level before you. And then I beat the level. I was like, suck it, Eric.
It wasn't even an attempt. What I said on stream. I don't even remember.
It's so long ago. It was like 2017. I never even said anything to you. You just kind of like said something. It was a conversation between you, me, and Red, HFC Red, and then
Red,
you just made some form of snarky comment about like, aha, I beat you in 2 races, Aeon, lol. And then I was like, wow, let me just prove to you that I'm gooder at this game than you. And then I made the video, and they just never made anything more out of it.
Nice. Darn, I can't do that anymore because we all know who's better.
Yeah, obviously. It is the victory of Necropolis, isn't it?
Well, I mean, Necropolis is harder than any level you've done, but yeah.
True.
Gotcha.
You should beat Necromancer just to like prove that you are the god of Necropolis levels.
Damn. I was thinking about it. Everyone was like, you should try Necromancer, similar to Necropolis, it's a little bit harder. And then I watched a video of it. I was like,
It's a tiny little bit harder. It's top 30,
right.
but you know.
yeah, right. We'll do Phobos first.
Yeah.
And then,
No need to
and
rush.
maybe
No
Subsonic.
need to rush about that. That was a really good segue though, because the thing I wanted to talk about was like aspirations going forward and like what you plan on doing with GD and like what your goals are. I know you want to do Subsonic. I know you want to finish off the Sonic series, but like.
Oh, for sure. I just want to take like baby steps forward, you know, like Phobos is like 10 or 12 spots higher than Bloodbath. After that, maybe do a bit bigger of a jump to Subsonic. And I just want to kind of, you know, I have things I want to get really good at the waves, so I'm going to start doing like some extreme waves, working my way from like down base to whatever the next harder wave one is. And you know, I'm like just stepping forward, not like doing massive steps, but just like keeping on going forward. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't have massive aspirations. I mean, honestly, all of like the really tough old levels, like the classic old levels that are nostalgic for me, like, you know, Bloodbath and Sonic Wave, right? That was always like a big part of my life, like seeing people try to beat it and then eventually beating it. Like those kinds of levels, like in terms of like a really hard level, if you're gonna ask me like a goal that I'd want to do, like something that's like on the list, it'd probably be like Sonic Wave. Like I'd love to just beat that level, even I know it's kind of annoying, but whatever. I'd love to just beat it, just to say like I've beaten something that's been like such a
that's kind of like the phase that I'm going through at the moment.
You know?
I'm kind of going through that phase right now, just beating levels that have always been like hard, that I look at and I'm like, damn, that's really sick. Like I've been going through that phase now. That's what I've been doing with Erebus, Yada, Retention, Red World Rebirth, like levels that I've always looked at and I'll be like, I want to beat those one day, because they've just always been there. They're so old.
Yeah, that's
like Suckman is on my list. Suckman,
like,
I'm probably gonna do very soon.
Always wanted to beat this, like ever since it came out. Like ever since I was like, Will Riot's a god, you know. I was like, I want to beat this level someday. Like maybe someday way later, but I do want to beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everyone goes through that phase. Like the levels that you look up to when you like start the game or like starting to get into the game properly. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we get into the future going forward now and people are gonna have the exact same feeling that we are having toward these levels as people now have towards like the current top 10, like Kino, Crimson Planet, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Theirs are a little bit harder, but
no, hands down. I mean, like the overall aggregate skill kind of increases. Like it's almost like as people get better at the game, people realize, oh hey, you know, if these people can do it, then I can do it too. And then like everyone like gets more of a surge of confidence and is able.
I've actually been thinking about that recently. I feel like GD is kind of like a herd mentality kind of game, because I've been seeing a lot of people recently just come into the game and like within a year get really good. Like I can name for instance Chadative. He's a really good player. He's started in not too long ago. Started like less than a year ago. He beat Arctic Lights, which is like top 20. You have Supreme, who's been playing for a year. His hardest is Cognition, which is top 15. You got Eduardots. He recently verified a version of Death Corridor. He's been playing for a year on the 20th. So in a month, in a week, he's been playing for a year. He just verified a basically unnerfed Death Corridor, which is insane. It was like GD is kind of like herd mentality, where you know something is possible, it makes it easier to play and easier to get good at, kind of thing.
Yeah. For sure.
And it's just crazy to look at
like
how good
Phobos
people have gotten in such a short amount of time.
Like, it's just a matter of sitting down and doing Phobos now. Like Phobos to me, like even like a year and a half ago, I would have been like, man, yeah, right. I'll never do that level. Now I'm like, it's doable. Just a step up from
that's what I'm thinking as well. I always looked at Erebus and I'm like, that's impossible. But now I've played it for like, what, 4 days? And I'm like, yeah, this is reasonable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would like to get up to the point where, you know, like, honestly, it's pretty wild how the goalposts move like this. But like, if we would have had the same conversation a year ago, and you would have asked me what my goal was, I would have been like, dude, I'm just gonna beat Bloodbath and then I'm gonna quit the game. Like that. No, I really.
I don't blame you.
That.
I don't blame you. I didn't think I genuinely thought that after I beat Yada, it would take me like half a year to want to even bother try for a new artist. I beat a new artist in less than a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like,
it's wild. Like the goalposts move pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like I after I beat Bloodbath, like I told people on my Twitch stream, like as I was playing Mario Maker, and also when I was streaming other GD streams on YouTube, which I didn't really start doing before this last year, so I guess not really. But on Twitch, everyone asked me about Bloodbath, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna beat it someday. Whenever I do beat it, and that's gonna be the hardest level I ever beat.
Yeah, and now it's been like what, how many months, and you're already trying to do something harder?
Yeah, I mean, I could have done something harder before. I've just been busy with the 12 Demons of Christmas and
well, yeah, that's fair.
I guess Aftermath and stuff. But like Phobos, like I'm getting pretty consistent at it, right? And I'm ready for like harder stuff, right? So it's just a matter of finding some time to sit down and do it, right? Because I'm moving in a couple weeks, which kind of blows ass. It's not a good time to be doing Phobos, so
poor timing. But I feel like it's kind of like when you start beating stuff and beating harder stuff, the way I view it is that they are hard, but they're far from the hardest. So if I give it an honest attempt and try to learn it, I will be able to do it. It's just a matter of time. I saw Doggy comment on this on Twitter, because Dr. Man, he mentioned how he was just playing Ragnarok for fun because he really likes the level, right? And then he was just like, oh, I'm never going to beat Ragnarok, I'm just playing it for fun. And then Doggy said, it's not a matter of if you can beat it, it's a matter of if you want to beat it. And if you want to beat it, you're going to be able to. That's like how he views difficulty. He doesn't see anything as too hard. He sees anything as how much time are you willing to invest in it without getting bored.
That's very true. Yeah.
And I think the same goes for anyone.
It's all about like, are you willing to put in the effort? Are you willing to work hard enough? That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the things that I love that Pooh Bear said, that actually, like, he inspires me a lot. He's always like, dude, he's like, I have no natural talent. He's like, but I'm gonna outwork the fuck out of everyone.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of the same thing I'm doing. Whereas I don't really feel like I'm like greater than anyone. So in the GD community, I don't make the best content. I don't produce the best streams or anything, but I work my ass off to prove the fact that I have some form of value within it. So like, yeah, my ethic is that while I can't produce the cream of the crop, the absolute best content, I can create great content at a very consistent rate, which makes people stick around. So I'm very similar to him in that sense, where while I don't necessarily excel to the point where I'm like the absolute best, I can just stay in the game and stick at being near the top by just working a lot harder, because I have insane work ethic. That's always been my thing. My shtick has always been just insane work ethic and motivation once I've really put my mind to something.
Yeah, for sure. I've always had a good work ethic as well, like an amazing work ethic. Actually, all my friends told me that over the years. I mean, I started like working a job when I was like 11. I was like delivering newspapers, and I've had a job ever since, right? I've never been unemployed since like 11 years old. But for me, like my job was always for GD. I was always wanted to just be the kind of content creator, funny guy, you know, like I never had this intention of being like an amazing player, but I've just been getting, like, last year, at the end of last year, the 2019 12 Demons of Christmas, when I did a bunch of insane demons, I started getting like a bit more of a thirst for improving my skills and doing harder stuff. So yeah,
I feel like list points is kind of like a gateway drug. Like, I've never been the one who's been like, oh, I want to beat a lot of super hard stuff, but now that I've been getting list points, I'm moving across, like, approaching the top 150. I'm like, okay, maybe I do want to beat some hard stuff. It's kind of like a drug in that sense. But it's not like, I've always said, I get this question a lot because I used to be one of the top players, like top 5 in the world, if not top 1. Riot and Alex Payne have both said that a lot of their motivation to get better at the game was because of me in the early days. So I've always been like, people are like, oh, don't you want to be one of the best again? I'm like, no, I've been at the top. I want to be good. I want to remain a highly skilled, highly respected player, but I don't need to be the best. I just play because I want to enjoy the game myself and try and push my own limits, but I don't want to push the limit. I don't see that reason right now.
Oh, pushing the limit is another thing it's also just super stressful to be there.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
The levels that like you beat in particular, like they're not like the top 10, right? And you're not
Yeah.
verifying the top 10, which means that it's a whole lot less stress. I know we talked about this earlier when we were making the video, being like the hunted, but
Yeah.
like when people are chasing you when you are the top, it's like it's so stressful because everyone's comparing you to everyone else. But when you're just like beating kind of like, you know, decently tough levels and
Yeah, exactly.
you know, like not the best, but like very good at the game, it's like it's fun, right? It's easy to make good content. Like to be the top, you need to give up that fun content creation side, and you need to be farming all the time, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's too much.
my biggest goal and aspiration as a player is not being able to beat the hardest levels, but it's to be able to beat hard levels at a consistent rate so I can continue making content. Like me being able to farm extremes and insanes in like 1 or 2 days to make content, that's much cooler than beating a top 10 in my opinion.
Dude, okay, one second. This is so fucking stupid, but I gotta say it. It's so fucking dumb.
Shoot
oh my
it,
God.
shoot.
Okay, so, oh God, this is gonna. I don't know if Larkin's still here. Larkin, are you still here watching the stream? Okay, this is. I don't think he is, but oh my God. Okay, so anyways, Brandon Larkin recently started doing the like 9 circles, doing all the 9 circles levels. So basically, this guy called BL messaged me. And he's like, yo, Eric, I have a question for you. I'm trying to do all the 9 circles videos after releasing the first video. I got a few comments that you are as well. And I just want to make sure like I'm not copying you or anything. And I was like, I didn't realize that was Brandon Larkin. It's just this BL. Just like, I messaged him like as he was a random. I was like, a lot of people are trying to do this, no big deal. I mean, Brandon Larkin's going for it, so don't worry about it. And I answered that to Brandon Larkin. What the fuck, dude? Oh God, I feel weird about that one.
So funny. But you have closed DMs. How would it just a random message you about that?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I've added a lot of randoms over like the years, right? And so like, I just saw this BL dude, and I was like, "Fucking."
That's really funny.
BL guy.
It's very funny.
BL, okay. Jeez, I mean, he didn't even look, you know. I just.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
I better message him after this and be like, dude, sorry.
Speaking of Brandon, I fucking love Brandon, dude. He's such a swell
awesome.
guy.
Dude, honestly, like, you know, the content you make is great. The content I make is great. You know, we have our fan bases, although like I can't, it's hard for me to enjoy my own content. Like some videos that I'm particularly proud of, I can watch and be like, yeah, that was good. But like, I know why people like me, but I don't necessarily like myself as much as other people like me.
I feel like that's natural though.
Yeah, it is natural. Yeah. But like, man, watching like Larkin is just, I love watching him play GD. Like he's so funny. Like I don't know, I laugh so hard.
He is a naturally very funny dude. I recognized that pretty hard when I met up with him in March of last year. He's just naturally a very funny guy. He's very laid back and relaxed. Like Larkin is one of those people who you can very clearly tell he's like one of those relaxed, chill people in real life, but he knows how to entertain and be a center of attention if need be. But he's like very relaxed regularly. Like, I've never met a more quiet and chill person in my entire life, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I want to meet him someday, too. He's cool. He always, like, every time I talk to him, he's like, man, Larkin has balls, dude. Balls of fucking steel. Like, when he was, like, 14, 15 years old, like, super young, he's like, Eric, dude, like, I was making, like, the Neptune V2 videos or whatever, and he's like, because of you, I wanted to start making, like, commentary videos in GD. And this guy, like, Larkin went as like a young kid at the time of YouTube, where if you were a young kid making videos, people were like, oh, you young piece of shit, I don't give a shit what you have to say, you know? Like it was like people were like really ageist against like young people, like, oh, you're a squeaker is what they used to call him. Oh, you're just a squeaker, shut the fuck up, kid.
I remember that. Good times.
He gave zero shits and just boom was like, Eric, you inspired me to make YouTube videos, like thank you.
Yeah, but I feel like that's one of the things that always inspired me about Larkin, because I've always looked up to him. I've always been like a huge Larkin fan, but that's only because I feel like he's one of those people who takes things by the balls and just like rolls with it. He does what he knows what he does well, and he does that the best that he can. And he's always been like that. Like, the reason why he beat Coveretta on WoW was because people said that's not possible on controller, and he was like, yes it is, fuck you.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, he's awesome. And like, so every time I jump into a streamer, leave a comment, he's like, dude, thanks so man for inspiring me. Like, you're the reason why I'm here. And I'm like, dude,
He
no
is
way. I'm
very
like,
humble.
dude, you had the balls to like go onto YouTube at a time when it was pretty toxic for like young people to come on, and like you put yourself on camera and shit, and that's like pretty amazing.
Brandon's inspiring, to put it that way. And I really hope that he can continue to see success. He has a very fluctuating success, I feel like, on YouTube, but I feel like that's just YouTube being YouTube, honestly. He just kind of does his thing.
Yeah.
But it's always enjoyable.
He has quite a lot of success on his streams.
Yeah, I've seen his streams have been going up again. We had a discussion not long ago about how he was like slightly demotivated because he has one monitor, so he has like to look down on his phone, so he always sees his view count, which can be detrimental to how you see your success on, especially on streams. Like if you see your view count and you see that it goes up or down, you kind of like just, you know, it kind of just like hits you a little bit.
For sure.
Like that's why I don't pay attention to my viewer count and why I have rules against mentioning viewer count, because I don't really care how many I have, because it fluctuates either way. Like I'm not gonna have a lot of viewers every single time. Some days it's gonna be worse, some days it's gonna be better. It's or more about the longevity of it. But the effect of your viewer count going up and down then and there does affect the content, which I don't like. So we had that discussion because the viewer count was going down, and because he couldn't hide it, it was just like kind of rough. But it's going back up again now, which is good.
That's cool.
Because it's been doing a lot of hard stuff.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you've been like your Twitch streams. Usually when you stream, it's like late, and I like can maybe catch a bit or go to bed.
Yeah.
Or I'm just like asleep. So I mean, I don't even know how your streams have been doing, but I just see your success on YouTube like increasing like monthly, and that's pretty cool. Seeing your growth
I
on
think I don't know exactly what it's like at the moment. I think I have 430,000 views this month, I think.
Yeah.
So it's looking to be another milli, which is sick. It's awesome. With 3 less days even. Hello? Awesome.
Breaking onto streaming is it's hard. I think for me personally, like YouTube is just a matter of like, do you have it in you to work hard consistently, thanklessly for like a year until you get caught up in the algorithm?
Yeah.
Like, do you have it in you to basically work for zero money but still work hard for a year or two? And if you do, then you can do it. Okay. But like Twitch is like this thing where it fluctuates so much for me. Like I have a hard time on Twitch because sometimes I do really well, sometimes I don't. Like some months it's going really great, even when I'm streaming the same content, doing the same thing. It's like the viewership fluctuates so much, and like but I never have like this metric for success. But like on YouTube, like I know what's good, I know what's bad, I know like exactly what to do. It's weird. I can't wrap my head around streaming. Like
Florona said, Twitch is really inconsistent. I feel what I've seen success in when it comes to Twitch specifically is that as long as I can have some streams and some things that are like keep things fresh, as well as just maintaining consistency, it will do well. What I've seen is that maintaining the same hour and the same amount of hours every single day consistently does help. Like I was fluctuating a lot with when I streamed and how long I streamed in November, December, and I was like averaging maybe between 150 200 viewers, and that's like, yeah, that's still good, right? But there was no growth. It was kind of like flatline. It flatlined for a while, but then January hit around. I started 2021. I said to myself, I'm going to minimum 120 hours a month streaming. I'm going to always maintain the same hour. I'm always going to start at the same time. I'm going to have as little days that I don't stream at all. I have my weekends off. That's fine. If I'm not feeling the best, I will just cut stream short, and I'll just maintain that consistency. And my average went up by 90. So I went from 150 to 200 to 250 to 300 average.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm really bad with that because Twitch for me is just extra. Like I'm a YouTuber first and then a Twitch streamer second.
Yeah. So like what I've seen
I miss streams and stuff, and that's why like I don't.
What I've seen with Twitch is that consistency is valued a lot. Consistency is valued a lot unless you have a massive external flow of people. Like the biggest Twitch streamers right now are people like Ibai, Gref, like Spanish huge streamers or YouTubers, right? Who can like funnel in from YouTube. People with like 10 to 30 million subscribers, right? So they can stream like 20 hours a month and average like 150,000 viewers, right? But that's because they have that massive amount of people from the outside. But then you have people like XQC, who's like a streamer at heart. The reason why he's as big as he is because he's just so consistent. Consistency is key when it comes to streaming, especially if it's your main platform. YouTube and Twitch, for me, I value very equally. I value Twitch and YouTube very, very similarly. So for me, it's like I will maintain consistent with Twitch and I will funnel new people in from YouTube. But as long as I continue being consistent with Twitch, I will also naturally grow on Twitch.
That's right, yeah.
And especially for me, who's like the biggest streamer on Twitch for GD, or consistently biggest at least, where I have the most watch hours, I average similarly to Junie. Junie gets more occasionally because guitar raids and stuff, but like natural viewership from me and Junie are about the same if it's non-GD. Both of us hit around like 200 something, 250 if you stream non-GD, as long as it's not Persona, because story games are hard to stream. But like if I stream Bloons, if I stream GeoGuessr, I guess at like 200, 250, and that's the same she sits at with that kind of stuff.
They're hard to stream, but man, it's funny because like my origins come from streaming like story games. I'm really good at streaming those kinds of games.
Oh, I fucking love streaming them. But the thing is, it's so hard to captivate people because if you take something like Persona, right? As much fun it is to stream that game, if you haven't been around since the beginning of those streams, it's gonna be so hard to put yourself into it because you don't know what's going on.
For sure. No, that's right. And a lot of people will come in and be like, can someone please explain the story? And be like, well, I would take an hour, but... Yeah,
that's why I love Geometry Dash. I think Geometry Dash is like a perfect stream game, similar to Mario Maker. It's endless. You don't have to know what's going on. You can just like put yourself into it. It's such a good stream game. Geometry Dash is made for streaming in my eyes. I think Geometry Dash is like one of the best stream games you can have.
It is good. No, Geometry Dash is good, and well, the reason why it's interesting to watch people, jeez, I think I just slurred my words a bit. The reason why it's interesting to watch people play Geometry Dash is because it's almost like gambling. Like it's gambling in the sense that you see so many people like, this is the attempt he does it, and people are like, man, I want to be here when he beats the level. Like, I know I'm gonna be here for that. Feel like, is this the attempt? Is this the attempt? And like, it's literally like gambling with like, when's he gonna do it? I'm gonna be here for it. I swear, I'm not wasting my time. He's gonna do it by the end of this stream. It's this attempt, and like, it's exciting.
Yeah, I see that a lot myself. Yeah. Like in the beginning when I started doing Erebus, I was sitting at like 240, like normal stuff, like where I sit when I just mess around. And then as I got higher and higher percentages, my average would just go up and up and up. So like now I would probably peak like 400 something now that I have 78 and a lot of 70 attempts, and just it's about to be the winning attempt because of the people who just want to see the final attempt.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how it works. The higher your best is, the more viewers you get, basically.
Oh, for sure. When I had like 98% on Bloodbath, I had the most viewers I've ever had on a stream, like ever. I had like over 4K. It was fucking nuts.
That was me. Well, other than the Drunk Roulette and like my one-off streams where I just like memed. Killbot, when I had 95 on Killbot, I was pulling in like 400 average easy.
It's bananas, yeah.
It's like people just really want to see that final attempt.
For sure. Oh, it's like gambling. Yeah, of course they're gambling with their time to see the final attempt. Yeah, it's exciting. And especially with hard levels that you can't see yourself beat at the time. Like, I'm more fascinated watching someone like Wolves stream than I would be watching someone else. Like, if I'm just there to see something cool happen, I would rather watch someone like Wolves who can beat the top 10 in like a couple days. Because like it's interesting to see how good they are at the game. It's like fascinating to watch top players. Oh, for sure. For sure. As like well, the thing is we are more, even though like you're better than me at the game, I consider myself an above average player. I consider you like a very good player. Because I'm ranking everyone. I rank people. I look at people who can beat extremes as good players, like very good players. If you can beat an extreme, you're very, very good at the game. Okay. Like if you can beat demons, you're good at the game, I think, because demons require a lot of practice to put out. Like, fuck, what's it called? It's like I watched a video of it yesterday about how like speedrunners, the reason why they can just like zone out and just do the best they have ever had because it's just automated. Their muscle memory just kicks in. And I look at GD very similarly to speedrunning in that sense, in that you just, when you try a timing out, if you've done that timing like 10,000 times before, it's going to be very easy to pick up. That's why hardcore skill-based levels like Stalemate Redux, To the Stars 2, and so on is very easy for high-skilled players because it's the exact same pattern of clicks you've done a million times before. Yeah.
So it's just
Right.
the automaticity, that's the word. The automaticity that you pick up from playing GD for like 200 hours makes you automatically really good. So if you can beat demons, it's not because easy demons, we both of us say that easy demons are easy, right? They're not hard. They take us like 20, 30 attempts. But like they take us 20, 30 attempts because we've put in thousands of hours into the game.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone who just started the game is not going to have an easy time with an easy demon because there's a lot going on. It's still a difficult thing to do. It requires skill to pull off. It's just that we've put so much time into the game that it becomes really easy. So I always say that if you can beat demons at a consistent rate, you are good at the game. Definitely.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I always consider myself like I undervalue myself, or I consider myself like above average. But I guess I guess I'm good at the game. But the thing is, like, people, even though we're not beating like the hardest stuff, is we are even though we beat hard stuff. Me and you, we still beat hard stuff. We're still like personality driven content though.
Oh yeah,
right?
definitely.
Like people want to see people that they love succeed, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that's why people like watch us complete like harder stuff, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like we get a lot of viewers doing it.
Like even when we just do random stuff, most of the time the hardest stuff that we beat are gonna get the most views. Like my Killbot video is like almost at 40,000 views, I think, which is very good for my standards.
For sure. Yeah,
but
it's dude, it's the YouTube algorithm's a wild beast. Like these days, I guess some of my hardest stuff, like when I announced Phobos, that got the most views. But I guess like there's also like random stuff. Like I guess my most viewed video is the recent tab, but the levels are good. like you know, like that's my most viewed content, right? That's just a little something where, you know, if I was just after
it's pretty
money,
funny, not gonna lie.
I certainly would be doing more frequent stuff like that, right?
But then you have like random offbeat stuff like beating classic 9 circles levels has like 35,000 views, which is more than my To The Stars verification, which came out afterwards, which is like,
dude, 9 circles levels are people just love them.
They're a view magnet. I don't know why. I have no clue why 9 circles levels just bring in so many views even this long after the initial 9 circles hype, but it just does for some reason. People just love 9 circles.
People love a good wave session, you know? Just look waving with Nepesta.
They really do, don't they? It's so weird.
Guys, I have a question for chat. What's your most favorite game mode to watch someone do? Like if you're watching like something that's like high skill, like do you like seeing people do timings? Do you like people seeing do wave? Do you like tight ship sections?
Yeah.
It's all wave. Look at that shit.
It's always wave,
look at wave.
I actually think I have an answer for that,
why.
actually. I think I have an answer for why it's wave. Because wave is so simple. Wave is fundamentally really, really simple. So watching someone do wave with incredible precision, like some people do, like you fucking what made Nepesta and so on, is just really impressive. Because they're so tight. It requires so much precision.
Maybe
so I think it's the simplicity of wave that just makes it impressive.
Too.
Like whenever I look at
looks cool.
Whenever I look at someone play wave, it's so easy to recognize if something is stupid hard. But if I look at like a hard ship part, it's much harder to recognize how difficult it is. That's why charters look so easy.
It's very interesting. That's a very interesting point that you just made, where when it comes to things that people enjoy watching, it's like you have to look at watchability. And this comes down to like esports as well, is before people make something in esport, they take a look like, is this a watchable experience? Right? And so like when it came to like esports, like StarCraft was pretty popular because it was pretty watchable. But you still had to know to know the finer details. You still had to know how each unit worked. You still had to know like a lot of stuff. So it was really popular, but it wasn't super popular. It was popular in Korea though. Holy shit.
That's like why my favorite games to watch someone play that I don't play personally, stuff like Step Mania or Osumania. Because it's so simple to take in. It's like, just click the button at the right time. But it's so impressive to look at.
You know what's happening.
Wild.
Like, as you're watching it, you know what's happening. Fighting games, like you might not know the technical specifications of, okay, well this person's high attack, you know, overrode their low attack. Yeah, you don't know the frame data and all that stuff. You don't know that shit, but you're watching two people fight, you know what's happening, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The watchability is extremely high. Like some games watchability just isn't that good. Maybe it's too technically complex, or like as the average viewer you just don't really get what's going on without knowing the specifications. But that's what makes Geometry Dash so watchable, is like you can see people just go through certain sections and like because there's only one button, right? And then when it comes down to the wave, which is even easier to know, where it's like you click the button and you go up and you don't and you go down. There's no momentum at all. It's just up or down, right?
Yeah, that's why I feel like I had this conversation with Motley Orc a while back, because not after the Golden was moved below Tartarus again, Motley Orc was like, is Tartarus really that hard? Because I look at Tartarus and I'm like, that doesn't look that hard, because Tartarus is just so deceiving with how hard it looks. Because it doesn't look hard. Like, I admit as well, I looked at Tartarus the first time, I was like, that doesn't look too bad, right? But then I tried Tartarus and I was like, that's fucking impossible. I'm never doing that. That is so hard. But then you look at the Golden, which has that one wave section at like 30, which looks absolutely fucking impossible. But everyone who beats the level says it becomes insanely consistent. Like, you do it like every attempt. And it's like, I look at that, I'm like, how do you do that every attempt? That does not look feasible to me at all.
Yeah. Dude, my days of ever hoping to do like top, maybe even 25 are like over. Like, I have a hard time like just focusing. It's just my reactions just going down with age, you know? Like,
even the top 50, bro.
Honestly, I could still do it if I really wanted to, like dedicate like 2 months to practicing this shit like every day, which I don't want to, so I'm not doing it. I could probably still pull out, because I have decent talent at games. Like, I used to be a top like Dance Dance Revolution player.
Oh, I want to see that now. I want to see a video of you playing Dance Dance Revolution. That sounds awesome.
Dude, I was so fucking good at Dance Dance Revolution. I would like, because here, you want to have story time with Eric?
Yes, always.
So anyways, I was traveling for ice hockey, for band. I played the tenor sax, and I lived in a small city in northern British Columbia, and we didn't have like an arcade that had a Dance Dance Revolution machine, right? We just didn't. And that was the only way to get it. There were no home console DDR versions. There were, but they were only in Japanese. So I couldn't get one, right? So I traveled to Edmonton, this bigger city, West Edmonton Mall, and there were like these two Asian guys playing DDR, and they were like fucking awesome. They were like doing like some freestyle moves. They were hitting the pads with their hands and stuff. And then I played and I sucked ass and I failed, and they're like, okay, fucking get off the machine, let's go. And these guys were like very dismissive, and they were just like, hey, fucking thank God he's gone so we can play again, you know? And I was like, fuck these assholes. I love this game though. It was really cool. And then they left and I played it for like 6 hours. I just like all my money into this fucking thing, because there was like shopping time while we were on an ice hockey trip. You have like 6 hours in West Edmonton Mall, and I just fucking stayed in front of that DDR machine like the whole time. Learned how to do like the simplest songs, because it was really hard to learn, honestly, and it was like to do all the movements. And then I went home and I had saved like a bunch of my newspaper route money, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a dance pad at home, but there's no DDR version in Canada. Like, there were no English like console versions. So I went and got like a stealth modded PS1 that I bought with my money, and like a Japanese DDR dance pad and a Japanese DDR like game disc. So I could like have this like fold mat that was like $30 that I could use at home. And I like got fucking awesome at the game. Like fucking awesome at the game. I played like every day for like hours, and I just practiced. Like at one point I was so good at like freestyling, like doing like actual dance moves, I like backflipped off my sofa and like did like the last input in a song. I was like, boom, bam, and I like
that sounds like something straight out of like an American movie. Just like the pump hype training arc is just like, what? That sounds awesome, dude.
Like I did it, and like actually I did it a couple times. I broke my dance pad one time because I like landed on the panel in the front and just smashed it. It was like boom, and plastic like shattered everywhere. Anyways, I got fucking awesome at DDR. So I went back to Edmonton just for my travels. It was like the same mall, and at the time they had like the newer DDR version there where you could do like battle mode where you like go against whatever the next person was. And it wasn't the same people, clearly, but it was like these other dudes, these like people that were like hanging around the machine, you know, because like the cool kids that are good at the game, they hang around the machine, right? They hang around the arcade machine. And like,
waiting for an unsuspecting visitor.
DDR fourth mix had like this fucking huge like screen in the front of like, and this big like, this huge corner that was dedicated just DDR at the time. I mean, the game was massive in like cities, right? So I went up to these guys, I was like, hey, I want to play a little bit. And the guy's like, hey, do you want to do like battle mode? And I was like, yeah. I was like, sure. I was like, let's give it a shot, like whatever. He's like, okay, we'll we'll do this one song. It might be too hard for you. And he told that to me, and I was like, no, I was like, I'll feel my way through, whatever. I was like, I haven't played in an arcade in ages. And then I fucking got like it was like perfect combo. Like I just schooled this guy like so hard in like one of the hardest songs in the game. They were all like, whoa, who's this guy? We haven't seen you
so
around
funny.
Here. They were like, who are you? Like, what? And
That's
like,
actually fucking hilarious, dude.
These guys had like in their like plastic bags, like they just bought like the DDR soundtracks, and they were like hardcore into it, you know, like. And
That's
I just
legendary.
like schooled like their top guy, and you know, it was great. It's fucking, I loved it. So yeah, I was huge into DDR.
That sounds so fun.
I eventually got into doing like the double mode where you do like 2 dance pads at the same time and stuff. And
how does that even work?
Well, what you do is like you don't play like 2 dance pads on single player at the same time. What you do is you put on a special mode called double mode where there's like actual arrows set up for doing 2 dance pads at the same time.
Oh,
so there's certain patterns that are like made where you're going back and forth between the 2, right?
Okay, yeah,
So,
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you're not doing, because doing both like on the hardest difficulty it's impossible because it's so hard. Yeah. But I was I was really good at the game. But it of course, as with all things, like at the time that I quit, like it evolved, and you know, I had basically up to a certain point, like I'm gonna use a Geometry Dash as a frame of reference, like there was a point when I was like the guy who did the #1 hard song, the equivalent Bloodbath, you know? But now these days there's people that are doing like the equivalent songs of like Tartarus on DDR, which I can't fucking do, you know?
Yeah, skill ceilings are funny in that sense. I feel like skill ceilings are just interesting. But like, I look at Geometry Dash as just one of those games that is just... We're the older generation. We've had our turn. We can do harder stuff than we thought possible back then, but there's a limit. Like, I look at the top 50 now, and I'm like,
Yeah, no. There's levels on there that I can't hope to do. Like, maybe someday I'll do like very tail end list demon, and I'll be so happy.
Yeah. I look at the main list now, and I feel like it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, the top 50, well, what is number 50 right now? Let's double check real fast. What is in numero 50 on the demons list as we speak? Sunset Sandstorm is 50.
Wow. Yeah, that's hard.
Erebus is 45.
Jeez.
I'm barely doing a
like,
top 50. It was top 3. It was top 1 at a point.
Oh, it was. Yeah, no, Erebus was... Dude, it feels like yesterday Erebus was top 1. Like,
it basically was yesterday, honestly.
Yeah. Like, honestly, what's Sonic Wave?
Sonic Wave is 33. Yadagarasu is 39.
Damn.
Like, when people say, like, oh, yeah, I can do a top 50, I'm like, the top 50 is so hard, dude. Do you think you could do the top 50?
Yeah,
like, just anything in the top 50. Absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, people can. It would just take a lot of hard work, you know?
Oh, yeah,
and
definitely.
Talent will expedite that process, but...
For sure.
You know, hard work will.
Like, I can definitely see you doing something like Yada in the future. It's just the way I think about it, and the reason, like, I get comments like almost every day at this point, like, oh, Aeon, you beat stuff so fast, why don't you just go for something really hard? Because people are like, oh, you can definitely do a top 10 if you want to, or like a top 20. I'm like, I probably could, but I value content more than I value the achievement of beating something like stupid hard. So, like, I don't see a reason to put, like, as you said earlier, why should I put in 2 months into beating one level when I can put out a lot of content instead? I find more value in just making a lot of content.
Yeah, that's been my frame of mind, like, literally since I started.
Yeah,
you know, doing GD content, right? I've always wanted to make like funny content. Like, I've always just wanted to make content that people laugh at. And like somehow, you know, I've always been like fairly good at games. Like, I mean, I just told the DDR story, right? But you know, as I'm getting older, like I just want to make more like interesting content. But because I have that spillover of just being naturally pretty good at rhythm games, even though, like, honestly, your reaction time goes down a little bit. Like at my age, like it's going to start and just,
that's what I like about GD though. It's not much reaction time. It's more just muscle memory. Because my reaction time sucks. I've never had good reaction time. I'm just like very stubborn and very good at just learning stuff. I'm patient, so I just take my time learning something and then I just go for it. There's less reaction time than just
goes down, though, when
grinding, in my opinion.
Like there's times when like you'll misclick. Like,
yeah, definitely.
You miss
for
like
sure.
more frequently, like as you get older, and it's not
Yeah.
that bad. Like I can get over that. And it usually only happens when I'm nervous, like we did in the video today, the hunter video, which it's been like a really mind over matter thing for me.
Yeah.
But it definitely requires like more effort, right?
Oh,
Overall,
for sure.
like I can't just sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this today. Like sometimes I have to like sit down before I do hard stuff and I actually like just meditate.
No, I don't blame you,
Seriously,
like, at all.
It helps. Like I'm like, I need to calm. I need to be very calm. I need to make sure like I don't like misclick with like a kind of mistimed like muscle memory like out of whack, you know? Like I need that like calm, right?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of feel the same. I usually put myself like a limit. Like if I don't feel like I can do something in like a 2 week time span, then I say it's too hard. I'll get better and I'll try it at a different point. So like with Erebus, the only reason I started Erebus was because I was like, you know, I feel like I can do this in like a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. Because that gives me like a time frame to work with it on, and then I can do content on like the side. But if it starts going into like a month, I feel like it's just I'm wasting my time at that point.
For sure, yeah.
So that's kind of like the thing I have, because I stream so much, I have the time to grind out something in a few days, right? So it doesn't really affect me too much, but I also don't want to. My issue is that I value content in a way that I hate filler uploads. So while I do filler uploads, I don't like having too many filler uploads.
Yeah, I mean it's a necessary pain, but I mean
it is for
like
sure.
whatever. I mean the thing is like I mean you think, and I think too sometimes, that filler uploads are like a bad thing, but people
like them, but it's more
content,
that I don't like sure, filler uploads are fine because people are gonna enjoy it anyway. People are gonna be like, oh yes, another Aeon upload or another Eric upload. I like it. It's fun time. I get to enjoy something while I eat or while I'm just doing something. Like, it's nice, obviously, but I don't want the channel to revolve around filler uploads.
Oh, for sure. No, I 100% agree with you. You gotta have that mixture of good content, but like,
yeah.
The thing about filler uploads is, like Floroni said, is they're not for everyone. But it also depends on how you go about the filler episodes. Like if you go at the filler episodes and you're like, well, I know this is kind of like something that I normally do, but I'm gonna do it a little differently by doing this thing. You know, they're not that bad, right? Like as long as you're making the filler like interesting. Like if you're making the filler like dog shit, it's the same thing with like anime filler. Like there's good anime filler and there's bad anime filler, right?
Like to me, what I see as filler is just like casual level completions of easier stuff. My main sauce is just like interesting, neat ideas and extremes. Those are like my main things. So like filler to me is like reading messages, recent tab, or just hard demons and down. That's like filler to me. That's like stuff that I can pump out in like an hour, right?
Yeah.
So sure. Like, but I like to put twists on them. Like if I want to do a filler upload, which is like a hard demon or like an easier insane demon, it's like I always try to pick out the like cool levels that are like interesting to keep it interesting. But I don't want to upload too many of them because I don't want to upload like 5 episodes in a row that's just hard demons, right? So by spending more than 2 weeks on a single level, I feel like it comes down to so much filler to the point where I feel like the channel just feels like it's regurgitating the same content just to stay alive. Yeah. Because the way I value content is that as long as I can come up with cool, interesting ideas, the channel will stay fresh and the channel will stay alive. But as soon as it becomes like 5, 6, 7 filler uploads in a row because I'm struggling with a level, it becomes to a point where I would rather just stop the level then and there and do something else and just get better at the game and come back to it later than just continue pushing on with it and just essentially it won't kill the channel, but in my eyes it will make people be like, oh, the uploads aren't as interesting, so there's no reason to watch all of them.
For sure. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean, you can have good, I mean, depending on how you structure yourself, you can have good, like, kind of non-filler, non-hard stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But that's kind of like why I came to you with the idea of the manhunt video, for instance, because like it's easy to make, but it's such a fresh take on something that it just becomes more interesting.
I mean, I think that's fascinating. I would definitely not call that filler content.
I don't see it as filler. I see filler as something that's easy to do that you just can never get enough of. Is something that you've seen before. Like if I, for instance, the 9 circles video that I did, I would call that filler, but that's only because it takes a very short amount of time to make and is not like a cool new idea. Like the beating classic 9 circles levels, I see that as filler just because it's something that is unoriginal and easy to produce.
For sure.
Easy to produce doesn't mean filler. I think unoriginality is filler. That takes little to no effort. The reason why I don't see extremes as filler is because they generally have a lot of meat surrounding them because they take a long time with streams and stuff, so there's a lot of content to build around it.
Yeah,
the actual completion is just to grab attention. Everything around it is everything else.
Yeah, it has more of like a story to it,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
It's like I try to build my extreme demon completions up around like as a story in a sense, where it's just a lot of funny moments, highlight why I enjoyed the level, highlight why I had a good time with it personally, because a lot of my enjoyment from hard levels comes from me just enjoying it with people that I'm in chat with and just having a good time like that. So like there's like some form of story building. Like sure, there's a lot of just like haha funny moments, but at the same time it's trying to tell a story from start to finish on how I ended up beating it. That's like my way of going about extreme demon completions, at least. I view the actual completion of the level to be kind of filler because it just stretches out the video by like another minute or two. But like everything that comes before it is like that's the meat of the video. That's like what I want people to see. That's not what everyone sees, obviously, because people are like, oh, I want to see Aeon's reaction to beating this level because it's either yes or it's like yeah, it's like either one.
Oh yeah. Usually that's how it works.
Yeah,
and,
but that's like how
hurts
I
the
view it, at
algorithm.
least.
Everyone just special request, just watch the full video.
Please watch the full video so we can get more watch time, because then YouTube is going to push it and we're going to get more subs.
I mean, even if you don't want to, just set like an alarm for 5 minutes later, just leave the video on, then come back and watch the completion. Okay?
Exactly. That's one thing I actually do, because whenever I go to read comments, if I want to read comments through like the YouTube app, I usually just let my video run in the background at like low volume so I get the watch time for it.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Just
Cheating the system.
Like as the first view.
Exactly. Gotta let it run in the background so you can get the watch time for it, so it doesn't fuck with your averages.
Yeah. Although too bad that doesn't work, because it's like one view out of like thousands.
It is, but I mean, it's better to let it run for the full length of the video than just stop it at a second.
Yeah.
In my opinion, at least.
For sure.
But yeah, but what is your like view and value on content in that sense? I feel like I've talked about it from my perspective, but like how do you see it? Like, what do you what kind of thought process do you put into making your videos? Do you just produce content to produce content because it's your job? Obviously, I also have that occasionally, but like, do you have like an extra little like spice? Do you have like your 12 spices and herbs? Do you have your KFC recipe to content?
No, I do. Like, first of all, like when I go about making like let's say for example something that a lot of people would consider filler on my channel, like a recent tab video, right? Like if someone, like when I go towards making a recent tab video, I want to make for sure like a really funny intro and a really funny outro. Like I want to make people laugh. Like if people, like I always look at the comments, and if people were like, oh man, I thought that was hilarious, I'm like, I did a good job. Yes. You know?
Yeah.
There was one recent tab video I made before Christmas time where I basically was like, I'm going to go through the recent tab, and however much I like or hate your level, I'm either going to give you like a present or I'm going to give you a lump of coal. And I had like a Santa hat on, and like, so I always try to go towards like recent tab videos and other videos. Like my main goal is to make people laugh, unless I'm doing something hard, in which case I don't have to, because it's more about the, like you said, the story of you know, completing a level, right? So
yeah,
I
see
always
that. I
try
definitely see that.
I always try to give like a, usually there's 3 types of videos I make. There's the skills video showing off the skills, there's funny video, or there's like informational stuff. Like sometimes I do like, you know, top 10s, what else, like showing how people can farm readily, like getting coins fast, you know, how I did it, my process and stuff, how to get better at the game, stuff like that, informational stuff, right? Because some people I know, just a lot of people that watch my content, they're people that like haven't played that game that long, or they're not that good at it and they just want to know how to get better, right?
Yeah.
So I try to do that. I used to do a lot of, when I was like earlier on in my career, I did lots of tutorials. Like at the beginning of like, before my demon completions, I'd be like, these are the timings and here's 5 minutes of like how you beat the level. These are the exact timings. Even like they might seem weird, but this is how you do it. And a lot of people like that. I stopped doing it recently. I don't know why, but probably should start doing that again. But anyways, so I look at videos like before I start recording a video. I kind of separate it like, is this going to be an informational video? Do I have to be funny? Is this going to be a video that I just want to make as funny as possible?
Yeah.
And
I can see
tab,
that.
impossible or not. And then there's am I here to show off my skills, right? So
yeah, that's kind of what I've been
kinda
thinking about recently personally, is the catch the people in the first 30 seconds. That's why I've kind of started having my intro at like almost a minute mark at this point, because like start the video off with a bang and then people are more inclined to watch the full thing. Like I've seen an increase in watch time on videos that I just have a funny clip in the beginning.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
And
yeah, I always try to like be creative with that, and I find it's a good, like with the stuff that people would consider like in quotes the filler. It's like just make it funny, and then it's like,
yeah, exactly,
it's not filler all of a sudden.
And as you said about the whole go about levels, like show how they do stuff, I feel like one thing I've noticed is that people who are newer to the game find it very intriguing to watch good players like yourself and I just learn the level. Like if it's an insane demon or below, I do like having the initial practice run just so people can see the initial reaction to the level and like how I go about learning the level, because people are like, oh, that's something I've never thought about doing before. I should probably start doing that to like learn faster.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's certain people that like don't even know about like certain times to buffer inputs and stuff, and like there's certain people like in my old videos like where I used to give tutorials on how to beat levels, people are like, oh, thanks to you I just beat this level. I'm like, shoot.
Yeah, and for like the way I choose whether or not I want to do that is as dumb as this sounds, I usually think, is this level so easy that I don't know if I can make a 10-minute video out of it? Like if it's like an easy or hard demon or like something not super hard, is this level so easy that I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be able to pull out the 10 minutes? Then I can go about the methodology of like showing my initial reaction to the level and how I go about learning it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is like people love watching that. Like I don't do it as often as I used to, but which is kind of a shame actually. I probably should do it more, but like people love watching a first reaction. And when I did like the 5 easy demons in a video, the whole point of that series was to be like, I'm going in blind and I'm showing you guys like my first reaction to whatever I get, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like Mario Maker, where it's like just random levels like flying your way and it's the first reaction. There's interest in that because it's from the point of a person, from the perspective of a person who's good at the game.
Yeah.
How do they see these levels and how do they beat them so fast?
And like we mentioned earlier about the whole, like, I find it very intriguing to watch someone like Wolves, for instance, play because he's so goddamn good at it. So like seeing his initial reaction to like a top 30, seeing how he goes about learning it and beating it in like 2 days is really fascinating to me, because he just shows me like how someone who's like at the peak of skill goes about it. It's kind of the same where people who beat like hard demons look at us and how we go about hard demons the same way we look at someone who beats extreme demons really fast and how they go about it.
Oh, for sure.
It's like a fascination with people who are just better than you.
Yeah.
Like we look up to the best and we look at them and like, damn, they're good. Similar to how people who are small, who are worse than us, look at us and go like, damn, they're good. Because I've realized over time now that because I have become like one of the bigger names in the community and like one of the people who consistently upload, people who are very new to the game will find my channel as one of the first people that they watch. So that like initial fascination with how people go about learning and how they play the game is kind of an important aspect, I would almost say. Like especially for like, not for like the super hard stuff, because people who are new to the game won't be able to do that, but like for like easy demons to like hard or insane demons, it's like they're going to look at that and be like, wow, I can actually learn something from this, because they're newer to the game and they look at us as like role models in terms of like skill, because we are the first people that they found, because they won't find the people like Nswish to begin with because they only beat the hardest stuff. They will find people like us who beat like a lot of like easier stuff, or easier for us that is hard for them.
Yeah, no, for sure, hands down. A lot of people look up to our skill, and sometimes I forget that just because we, we're involved in the community and we just know there's like so many better people than we are, especially myself. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people look up to us. It's been interesting over the course of the years, how many people that are actually like really good at the game now that have been like, yeah, I looked up to you. I'm like,
Yeah,
"We
I
used to
get
watch
that.
your
I get
videos
that
all the
still.
time."
As like a person who's been around for ages and ages. Like Alex Payne was in chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but him as well. A lot of people look up to him, and
Hell yeah, I did.
people have looked
in
up to me for the
2015.
amount of time as well. It's like it's
Oh, yeah.
crazy how many people are just like, oh yeah, I used to watch you and be like, wow, you really inspired me. It's like
Yeah.
that's pretty epic actually. That's really cool.
Yeah, dude, Alex Payne's great. I just remember like the Japanese guy in the water, like, if
Yeah.
you can do it, if I can do this, if I can do this in the cold water, then you can do anything, fighting or whatever. And then that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget exactly what he says, but yeah, Alex Payne's videos were great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel, as Alex said, he likes to inspire people. And I feel like the same goes for both of us. One of the reasons why I like doing easier levels occasionally is just to be like, this is something that you can do. Because I feel like one of the things that I miss, especially about something like Nepesta, I wish Nepesta did this more, where it just beat easier levels, is that when people look at someone who's so unreasonably good at the game, it comes to a point, at least I think, that you look at them and you're like, damn, that's insane. But if you look at someone who's like really good at the game and play easier stuff, is like, I could do that too. And it becomes more relatable in a sense. I feel like that's why easier levels often do decently well on channels, is because like the 5 Easy Demons series, for instance, that did pretty well for a while, I'm assuming, right?
It did, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like people look at that and like, yeah, that's something I can do too. I want to get to that point.
Yeah.
But then you beat something like Bloodbath, and they're like, wow, I can never beat that. Well, yeah, they can beat it eventually. At the initial reaction of watching it, they're like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. Like you said earlier, like you just looked at it, was like, no, never, that's not happening.
For sure, yeah.
So I feel like people are inclined to look at pro players play easier stuff just because it's more a relatable thing. Relatability is important, I feel like.
For sure. It's also, I also find it, like, a lot of people eventually, like, move on from the easier demons and stuff, and I find there's just not much attention brought to, like, some of these amazing, beautiful levels. Some people watch the replay, but, like, one part for me that was always, that I always used to love, and I still do love, is when, like, creators of levels will come onto my channel and be like Sir Punch, me and Sir Punch, like, he would always be like, he would always message me, he's like, my new level's coming out soon. I'm like, I'm on it.
Yeah.
And like, he loves watching me commentate over his levels. He's like, dude, he's like, I just want to hear you talk about my level, like all the nuances and the little details, and like I love it when you pick up on them. And he's like, you're the only person that introduces them, and like, man, I love watching you play, like, even though they're easier levels, right?
Yeah,
like,
and I get that a decent amount as well.
A lot of people like that too. Like, it's really important, like, not even necessarily to show people, be like, this is what skill wise you can do in the game. It's like, this is also like what creative wise you can do in the game.
Oh yeah,
too,
for sure.
right?
I get that a lot as well. I have a lot of creator friends, like Woolsey, for instance. I'm gonna say that you were nagging about it because you were asking me like every single day for like a week straight about me beating his level, and when I did, it was a good time. I really enjoyed it. It's just like Para as well. He asks me about beating stuff like Want Me, because it's like, if you look at creators or like content creators and you see them play your levels, it's just interesting to see their perspective, because they might see something different than you do. And like Hyvel really liked it when I played SFW, really ended up liking that video. Zoroa always enjoys watching me play his levels. Just like seeing creators just be happy about you playing their levels, just it makes me a lot happier. At least it's like an extra like pat on the back almost.
Yeah, oh for sure it is. Like when I was playing Castlemania, Sir Punch was like shitting his pants because I was like, oh, I've played all like the Castlevania games. I was like, oh, that's a reference to that, that's a reference to that, that's so cool. Sir Punch's like, oh, yeah, he gets it, you know. And I was like, oh yeah. Oh,
yeah, and especially, I don't know about you, but like it just recently started hitting me that like a lot of big creators do watch what I do. Like Zoroa, for instance, or Desticy. They look at my stuff, they regularly watch my videos, and I'm like, that's really cool because I really like their stuff. I look up to them and they look up to me. So if I do their levels, they just message me because we have contact and they're like, oh, it was really cool. I really like how you commented about this and this and that. It's like, you just realize that these big personalities watch as well. And it makes you realize that it's not just, as much as we like to nag about how, oh, the GD community is just a bunch of 5-year-olds. It's like, okay, you do also have those like big prominent figures watch your stuff and it's really awesome. Like Swift, for instance, in chat at the moment right now, when he joined watching me play his levels, because I had like a little segment where I beat like 3 or 4 of his levels, it was just awesome. And as he said in chat, it was the highlight of his week. It's a really cool feeling, in my opinion, at least.
Sure, yeah, for sure. And I like that about the community is playing creators levels, like them reacting to you playing the levels, but then being able to introduce those really creative and cool levels to other people that wouldn't have played them. And you know, the more trust that you have in the community for like recommending levels like that, the more people are actually going to want to watch you play those easier but creative levels, right? Because they're going to be like, oh, this person knows what they're talking about. And that's one thing that I find that you have a really good advantage on is like I know quite a lot about Geometry Dash, but you know way more than I do. Like
I've been around for so long, dude.
It's not even that. It's like I've always wanted to create like funny content and stuff, but you're in touch with a ton of people, and you know like so many people and so many levels, and you have like such a wealth of knowledge, and it really shines, which is why people enjoy watching you on stream, which is why you're one of the top GD content creators on Twitch, right?
I definitely feel like I have that edge. I feel like I have some form of edge because I've been a creator myself.
Yeah.
I feel like that definitely helped a little bit. Like, while my levels never were like the best, it's just, I feel like I do have a little slight edge that I know a little bit about creating, at least to the point where I can like nuance myself a little bit more. Because most of the top content creators are players with very little creating knowledge, like Juniper, Nepesta, Tech, yourself. Dorami has a lot as well, but Dorami has the language barrier that kind of makes him struggle a little bit. I don't really have that language barrier. But like up-and-coming Woolsey, for instance, I feel like Woolsey is just the peak when it comes to like watching creators nuance why stuff is good. Because I've watched a few of Woolsey's levels where I thought like, yeah, that's an okay level. But then I hear all the nuance and thought put into the product. I'm like, okay, that's actually really sick. Now that you point that out. Like, watching that kind of stuff is really interesting to me because it puts new things into perspective.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's funny because the creator community, like, there could be a lot of personality driven, like,
I wish there were more creators who made YouTube videos, honestly.
It would be tricky to make consistent content like that because you still do, like, even though we were just talking about that, you still do need that kind of filler content to rely on. And it's much easier to do that as a player, but you could do it as a creator, but it would be harder, right?
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I want to see more creators make content. I feel like Wolves is like a very good step in the right direction for like creator-based content. He knows exactly what he's talking about and he's very good at what he does. But I want to see more because similar to players, while all of us do very similar things in a lot of ways, we have our own little spark and flair that makes it original and makes it unique. And I want to see more people try their hands on what Woolsey does. Because I feel like it could grow a lot more. Because I genuinely think that watching creators talk about creating is very, very fascinating. Because I love creative stuff. I love creative work, and seeing people dissect and explain how the creative process works and stuff is just really fascinating. Like the building week Woolsey did back in like December, I think that was really cool just because I enjoyed hearing the creative thought process. I think that stuff is awesome. It's really fucking cool in my eyes, at least.
For sure. Yeah. I haven't seen much creating. God, there was this one guy, he used to make so many creation videos, but it wasn't personality driven. It was just like tutorials, but he made so many like fascinating tutorials, like 2016, 2017, like something
Etzer?
Pumpkin. No, not Etzer. I forget. I'm so bad with names, but this guy
Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead. There we go. Woolsey's got it. Pumpkinheads. Yeah. That guy, like, I used to watch his videos a lot, and it was always fascinating. I was like, I'll never be able to do that stuff. But he was putting out a lot of crazy ideas in like 2016, 2017 about like, you know, the GD. Like other creators would watch his videos and be like, oh fuck, we're gonna go make a banger with this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like he made a lot of interesting stuff. And GD know him, yeah. But you know, like I feel like the player content creation has been like it's a little oversaturated at this point, where because we've been in it for so long, we're gonna remain kind of where we are, kind of semi at the top, right?
GD has evolved to
there
the
might
point
be
where
some
it's
new
just
people
like,
coming and going, but they're gonna have to do, if there's people that want to do what we're doing in the player community, they'd better be doing something really unique, which is extremely hard to do. Although that hunt video is gonna be dope as fuck.
oh yeah, for sure.
But they need to be like, in the player community, if they want to get well known, they're gonna have to do something extremely unique. Like,
yeah,
you know, Nepesta came onto the scene and he made the Extreme Demon Roulette, right? That's fascinating stuff, right? Great stuff. So like, you know, you got very popular with that, and you know, verifying keynotes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you need to have that kind of unique level. You need to create something as unique as the Extreme Demon Roulette, or something that nobody's ever seen before, to get ahead as a player in the content creation scene. But the creator scene is so untapped.
It really is.
Personality driven creator stuff, holy, it's so untapped.
I think what Swift says is correct. I think there is a lot of untapped potential in GD content, not just from creator perspective, but I do think there's a lot of untapped potential in the playing perspective as well. Like, for instance, the idea that Wadida came to us with the manhunt thing is like, there's a lot of cool things. It's just, it's so hard to think outside the box with GD, because you look at GD and it's like such a, no pun intended, such a two-dimensional game to make content with.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have to really think outside the box to really capture a new, fresh idea. And I think while there's a lot of room for potential content with Geometry Dash as a player as well as a creator, it's just coming up with those ideas is really hard. But if someone can make those ideas and do well with them, then it can do well. Like, look at Lolwut, for instance. The one attempt challenge that came out like a year or so ago, that blew up. His video has like 400,000 viewers or something crazy like that, right? Because it's a cool new idea. And just a twist on something really simple. It's just, I've beaten a lot of Extreme Demons, let's do one attempt on them and upload it to YouTube. Why not? And it's just, people just need to think more outside the box. I get a lot of questions like, oh, Aeon, how do you think about growing your YouTube channel or growing your Twitch streams? I'm like, you gotta just don't do what everyone else is doing, and find a thing that you want to do that is really cool and a unique idea that will catch people's attention, and do it really fucking well. Because that's what it is. Because as you said, we are at the top of the food chain. When it comes to YouTube, especially, it's just the people at the top of the food chain are going to keep funneling new content that's just going to keep getting views, and they're going to take up a space. Because I view the YouTube algorithm as a finite resource, right? So you have the YouTube algorithm, and then you have X amount of space within the algorithm for things to do. Like, for instance, take the one attempt challenge. You have that. The one attempt challenge has its set amount of space. The first person who does it gets a large portion of that algorithm, a large portion of that finite space to take up. Then the big YouTubers come after that and take up the rest of the space, and then the small YouTubers take up the little rest that is left, right? Like a couple thousand views probably. The big YouTubers, the big creators like yourself, Dorami, Juniper, Nepesta, Tech, you have like Titan Channel for Russian, you have Guitar for Spanish, and so on. They're gonna take up a very large portion of that. So if you want to create and get big within YouTube, you have to create something that is so absurdly unique. The big channels want to copy that, because that's gonna funnel more stuff into your finite space. Because the roof of how big your content idea is how much exposure that gets from the outside. So the finite space will take up more space. So like, if you find a new idea, that idea will take space from somewhere else. So people will stop making that kind of content and start making your kind of content. So you have to like grab your spot and just expand it as much as possible by making the idea really cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you see new ideas like that pop up all the time. We've already talked about the extreme demon roulette. Like,
Yeah.
there was one silly ass day in December, and this might have been planned among people, might have been unplanned, but you know, the extreme demon roulette had already been out for like 8 months at that time, 7 months or something, and like literally everybody fucking uploaded an extreme demon roulette video on like the same day. Like, Donami did, Juniper did, I did, you did it all. We all got recommended off each other, and all the videos did extremely well. And it was
exactly.
like sharing that finite resource. And like, you know, Nepes did come up with that. I forget, did he make it?
It was his idea. Yeah, he got the idea while walking down the stairs.
Jeez, wow. Okay. So anyway, so he so he made that idea, and then that increased his spot in the finite resource that you mentioned, right? And because everyone copied it, he got recommended off that, and you know, that helped him become as big as he is, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I feel like people don't realize is that you don't have to perfect an idea. You just have to throw ideas at a wall until something sticks.
For sure.
Because you're not gonna get a banger on your first idea. I don't think that's rarely ever gonna happen. Nepesta had a fair share of things he did try before he got like the extreme demon roulette. Like waving it with Nepesta, he did a day with, so on and so forth. There's like, he had ideas that he just tried, and okay, the stuff stuck, right? And it's kind of the same with me. I look outside of GD for a lot of content ideas. Like my Bad Level Equals Ban video, very inspired by Ludwig, where it's just like, you involve your viewers in doing something, and there's a high stake, right? And I thought that was really fun. I still get questions like, hey, Aeon, when are you gonna do that again? It's like, you just gotta keep throwing shit at the wall until something sticks when it comes to ideas. And I feel like that's something that up-and-coming content creators have to think about, is that just try things out until something works, basically.
For sure.
Because once something sticks, it's gonna explode.
Yeah, and just keep on trying and trying, you know? Like, I've had a lot of weird ideas over the years. I did the 100 Mario challenge, where like 100 lives to complete some levels. I did that like in the recently awarded star tab, where I saw like how many levels I could do in like 100 attempts, right? And like, that was a successful video like a couple years ago. I should probably do that again. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But like, there's a bunch of random stuff. Like the first year I did the 12 demons at Christmas, I literally started it the day of. Like, I was like, you know what's gonna be fucking cool? I'm gonna play this level that I was gonna play, and I'm just gonna call it the 12 demons of Christmas, and I'm gonna just play 12 demons in a row until Christmas. That sounds cool. And like, I just tried it. Like, I tried it that day. Like, the first day was on that day, and I did it, and I was like, wow, cool. And then like, I did it the first year, and now it's become a staple, right? Like, people look forward to it every year. And that was just a random idea I had just sitting on my ass, like, what kind of videos I'm gonna do for Christmas this year? 12 demons. Like, fuck yeah, that sounds cool.
I feel like you get good video content and good video ideas out of just the most random shit, honestly.
Yeah.
Like the most random ass ideas you pop out, those are the good ones.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Yeah,
like,
so...
I see myself with this a lot, where just the ideas, the videos I expect to do well don't really do that well. And there were just random off videos that I'm just like, oh, this is an okay filler upload, is fine. Those end up doing pretty well.
Dude, tell me about it. Like, honestly, I have a lot of videos that I'm proud of, and then you like embarrassingly look at some of my like most popular ones. It's like, whoa, I did silent deadlocked. It's like, fuck off, people. I can't believe you clicked on that bullshit.
It's so dumb, but it's so true. Though.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, Jesus, why? There's so many videos I'm more proud of than that, you know?
Yeah. By the way, Swift, I see that you're saying that you would love to see big players make levels. Woolsey and I have a thing coming up, by the way, that we're gonna try and do in the coming future. We just have to find time for it, because I'm a busy motherfucker. But we're gonna figure something out. We do have a couple content ideas that's gonna be very, very funky and very fun. I'm very excited for that.
That's cool.
I don't know. I feel like
my top two videos, impossible or not, #1, which I thought was a kind of a cool idea, like seeing which levels were hacked and which levels weren't. I thought that was kind of unique at the time.
It was definitely.
10 plus videos. And then my next most viewed one, Silent back on track? The next one, Silent locked is too easy.
Oh my
God
god.
damn. Why?
It's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know. For me, it's just I feel like if people want to do good on YouTube, just be unique and try being unique for as long as you can until something sticks.
Oh, for
The
sure,
way
yeah.
I look at it is that you throw out unique ideas and produce unique content as much as you can until you get the initial growth, and once you have that growth, it's all about consistency. Like,
Yeah.
you know who
Oh, for
Recful
sure,
is,
yeah.
right? You know Recful, a streamer.
Yes.
R.I.P. Recful. Love the man. But one of the quotes that I kind of not live by, but one of the quotes that I often think about is, at a certain point with content creation, it's more about consistency than creativity. It's about creativity up until a certain point, but at one point, a turning point, it becomes about consistency instead.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
I feel like
I
that's
mean-
very true, both with YouTube and Twitch.
Just like a PewDiePie, yeah. I mean, he's
Yeah, exactly.
consistent as fuck. But like, there's only like he basically just goes onto his Reddit and like looks at
Yeah.
things that his fans have made for him. You know?
Exactly,
Like,
and I
it's
think
not
I'm
really,
at that
like-
point
It's
now.
not like the cream of the crop, but he's really good at making people laugh with like what he does.
Yeah.
Like,
And I feel like I'm like approaching that point where I've been just consistently producing a lot of like really cool, unique ideas that I really like, that is like gaining me traction, and now it's all about just maintaining that consistency. Like, I'm obviously
Yeah.
going to continue being original and have original ideas, but it's more important for me right now to stay consistent and upload as frequently as I do than just continuously pump out like 2 or 3 original ideas to see if something sticks every other week.
yeah.
Like, it's more important for me to just continue producing content at this point, because I've like
And
found
yeah,
my stick.
100%. And there's nothing wrong with it, because like, even though you're doing stuff that you've done before in the content that you're producing, you still get better at it though.
Yeah, exactly. You
Right.
evolve with the
So,
time.
yeah, you get better with it. You get better at editing. You get better at making it more interesting. You learn which parts to cut out, which parts to keep in to make
Yeah.
it flow better.
Definitely.
Which is a very, very underrated skill. Like, my videos aren't the cream of the crop when it comes to editing and stuff. Like, I've gotten better, clearly.
Mhm.
But one thing I will say that God, I'm not going to say that I'm better at, that I'm good at, is I know how to cut the fat. I know how to make it like the things I'm talking about. I know how to make it concise and like exactly what parts of the gameplay to show when I should be talking, when I shouldn't be, and like
Yeah.
exactly what parts to cut out. Like, a lot of people don't realize that when I record a video, I'm cutting out like half of everything I say, maybe even more, to make it flow really well.
Yeah.
Even when I'm making something specifically for a video. Like, clearly when you're editing a stream, it's different, right?
I
Because,
think.
like, you cut out a shitload, and when you're editing a stream, you cut out a shitload, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially me who
but, like,
streams all of it.
Yeah, but like when I'm like sitting down and like, even just editing a video that I've sat down and been like, as I've been recording, I'm like, I'm only gonna talk when I need to talk, when I like have something to say about this thing that I want to put in the video. Even then, I still cut out half of what I say.
I think that's one of the things I've excelled at as well as like a stream highlights person, is that I know what to keep in to keep stuff interesting. Like, it's, as I mentioned earlier about the whole like storytelling about it, is that everything feels concise, and then it has those like moments where it's just like, that's a funny moment that I should keep in just for like the random like offbeat, catch you off guard. Okay, that's actually really funny. I like that kind of stuff. But for the most part, it's all just like storytelling that just helps make the video feel like it flows. I feel like
Yeah,
that's one of the
for
things
sure.
I do. That's one of the things I pride myself in a little bit, is just being able to make the video flow, even though it's a stream highlight. It feels like a recorded video without it being a recorded video.
Yeah, and it's a very underrated skill. A lot of people do not realize how much actual skill goes into that.
Yeah, I think
Right.
that's what makes people stick apart from like the good GD YouTubers and like, well, not good, but like the like top GD YouTubers and like the good ones, because there's a lot of GD YouTubers who like they have they have the idea right, but they kind of like fail at making a concise and smooth video. I'm not gonna name names, obviously, but I do feel like people can definitely name some that they think of that are like, their content is there and they have the right idea to do so. They just can't seem to make the video flow well to where it's just like, that's a nice and concise video.
Mm-hmm.
People who have grown before but have stagnated because they can't seem to evolve themselves and they can't seem to keep up with the natural flow that YouTube videos require. Because a lot of people do, like, if a video just doesn't seem to flow correctly, it's just, you just lose interest. Because the flow of the video is what keeps people engaged with the video. Because as soon as it feels like the video is off in a little way, like, oh, that didn't seem like it fit there, then you lose interest in the video because it just catches you off guard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Definitely the people in the community that have the staying power, like the ones that have just been popular for a long time, like they kind of get that, right?
Yeah, like Dorami. I think Dorami is a master at that.
Oh,
he
Dorami's
nails
amazing,
his shit.
yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, even if you
Dorami's
don't
really
like
funny.
Dorami's personality, he just knows how to make proper content.
Oh yeah,
He's
no,
really
he does.
fucking good at what he does.
He's a great content creator. Yeah, like he knows the YouTube game, and like even when I click on his video, like I just want to see what Dorami's up to. I'm just gonna watch a random video with him, and then like all of a sudden I'm like, shit, that's the end. What?
Yeah,
happened?
exactly.
Like,
Dorami's just really
damn.
good.
Yeah.
As much as people like to shit on Dorami, I think Dorami is probably the top creator in GD, in my opinion. Just like
For sure.
overall, I think Dorami is like the best that we have, just because he knows how YouTube works to the T, and he has just mastered what he does. Because as memey as a lot of his edits are, they're really clean edits. They're really fucking good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's good. Like it's funny because like he's really good at I was watching one of his videos, his moderator video today, and like the way he uses his voice and edits the gameplay like with his voice, it's like almost like a mini story within the overall like overarching story of the video, like this one little like segment and clip, and it's really interesting how he draws your attention, and like he's got great videos.
Dorami and Guitar. Someone in chat mentioned Guitar. Guitar is also extremely good at that. I wish I understood Spanish, because I would love to like analyze his videos, because I find Guitar very, very interesting in a lot of ways.
Well,
just,
you know what? Guitar is. I would even go. I would say that Guitar is very similar to you, where he knows. He's such an intelligent person where he just knows so much about GD. He's accumulated so much knowledge over the years, where he's like you are, but with the Spanish community. But because he doesn't really have any competition, he is like the only guy, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Other than like their souls, I guess, but like they're not really competing. Whereas like in the English stratosphere, you can pick who you associate with the most, or all of us. But you can be like, no, I'm more of an Aeon guy. I think I'm gonna just watch his content, you know?
Yeah,
no, I like
definitely.
the zaniness of that Eric guy. Let's gonna watch this bald dude.
For sure. I think there are a lot of people who are just good at what they do. Hi, Guitar, what's up?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I feel like there are people in the Spanish stratosphere that are like really good at what they do. It's just we aren't aware of them because we don't pay attention to the Spanish side, obviously.
I guess so.
I like Swift said. I've been bringing in Swift a lot, but Swift does a lot of smart stuff to do. I think Viperin would be insanely interesting to watch, just because he would have like the same charm. He knows so much about this game,
and he's so well spoken. Like everyone like thinks like, oh, Viperin doesn't show his face enough. Viperin blah blah blah. You know, like he just uploads replays.
Yeah.
God, every time we have a race, he's so well spoken and he's such an interesting person to talk to.
He really is.
Fuck, Viperin. Get on camera and start talking about the game.
I'm gonna force Viperin to have one of these one-on-one conversations like we're having right now in the future, because Viperin and I we've known each other for so long. I feel like that would be very interesting to do, just because Viperin has so much to talk about. He's just so smart. Viperin's one of the smartest people I've ever met in my entire life, just in general.
Yeah, no,
not just like
he
from
knows
the
so
perspective of
much,
GD. He's just incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
Like motherfucker has like in Norway we go by a 1 to 6 system in school, like grades. So like an A is a 6, for instance, right? He finished high school with a 5.8 or something insane like that.
Wow.
He's super fucking smart.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, you know what, Aeon? You are one of the
Were you gonna
Stupidest
say that
people
one
I've
though?
ever met. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, God,
Wow.
I don't know why I wanted to say that. I just felt like throwing a little shade.
God damn it. Every fucking time, dude.
I'm just kidding. No, you're intelligent. You know a lot. Like, I don't know what your like education level is or whatever, which doesn't even matter. But like the way you throw yourself at your passions and like learn all about it is like, you know, it's really cool to see. Like,
I've
you
always
know,
been a
like-
smart
like
kid,
in-
but I'm not the most educated in that sense. But that's because I just approach things differently.
Hey.
I generally just like to learn things that I'm interested in.
education and being able to use intelligence to your advantage are two very different things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was always, I mean, Viper, and since I've talked to him, like he seems very like smart as well. Like he's able to use his intelligence. But like when I was young, I was very book smart. Like I was like, oh, you guys are studying for tests? I just heard it once and got it. You know, I like a photographic memory or photographic memory. I could just like, I was very book smart. Like I got through like high school without studying with like an A- average without studying.
Yeah.
Like pretty solid stuff. And then in university, I had like a I had like a 3.4, 3.5 GPA with like minimal studying, which is pretty solid. That's like
Pretty
an
good,
A
yeah. It's
average,
really good.
right? So like, but like as soon as I graduated, when it came time to like use that, I was a fucking idiot. I didn't know how to use any of it. I was like, I'm good at memorizing shit, but I really had to like, it was a big wake-up call. I was like, oh man, I need to improve as a person, which coming to Korea and you know, being able to like, I was really shitty at like public speaking and talking with people.
Yeah, but I
and then,
always
like,
I always mention this, how it's not about how good you are academically, it's how good you are at utilizing the information and knowledge that you have.
For sure. 100%,
There's like
it
there's
is.
a there's this whole thing, there's this whole stereotype that doctors are academically really smart, but all of them are dumbasses. Like the
Yeah.
amount of stories I've heard about people, just horror stories about how their doctors have interacted with them because they don't know how to utilize their like social intelligence, there's general intelligence about like people with just how they talk to someone, like a patient. It's just, it irks me so much. It's like one of my icks, just how some doctors interact with people, just because they're smart, but they're not smart in that sense, you know?
That's right. No, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's some doctors that are very charismatic and smart, but it's a whole different skill. And you come to learn pretty quick in your adulthood that your lack of IQ can certainly be more than made up with how you deal with people and your drive, your motivation and stuff. Because you can always learn information. Like we have a wealth of information at our fingertips, like on your phone. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
You can always just look stuff up. It's about how you use that and how much motivation you have to use that. I mean, there's some people I know that are the smartest people in the entire world. Like their lexicon, the way they talk, like the words that they use are so intelligent. You're like, oh fuck, what did that? God, I'm gonna look that word up. I don't really get that.
Yeah.
But they're the laziest motherfuckers, right?
Yeah, and then you have someone like me. I get this a lot because I get, like, I'm not gonna try to toot my own horn or anything, but I do get comments about, like, oh, Aeon, you seem to know a lot about different things and so on. You must be pretty well educated, right? I barely passed high school. Like, I have a D in, like, 4 subjects or something because I just wasn't interested. School never interested me in that sense because I learned things that I'm interested about, right? So I feel like I'm a good example of you don't have to be academically super smart to be an intelligent person, because I get a lot that I am like a decently smart guy because I like to read on stuff. I read about a lot of things just because I'm interested in them. I like to learn.
Yeah.
I love learning. Pupienus, my favorite Roman emperor. But it's like, it's all about your interest in something, really. Because you can be the smartest motherfucker on the planet, but if you're not interested in something, you're not going to have a good time learning about it.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in something, you're gonna have a much easier time.
100%. It's all about kind of just involving yourself with what you're passionate about, and like the rest is history, right?
Yeah.
Like you can just, as long as you're as long as you have drive to do something, like you'll do it and you'll learn about it and you'll get good at it, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like why. I have a
Yeah,
lot
like,
of
I knew
knowledge
I-
about YouTube and stuff because I am interested about
Like, I
it,
can't-
obviously.
I can't believe I'm a YouTuber now because my big failing was that I was book smart, but I sucked ass at talking with people. I was a terrible communicator because I always wanted my way. I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with it. Oh, this fucking people. I don't wanna
You were
deal
that
with
one
shit.
kid who never said anything in the group chat in group project and then just turned it in like 5 minutes before.
No. I did though. Like dude, I was the leader in the group projects and I always had to direct people and like I had to do everything in it. But the reason why I did everything is because I was like, you guys are all dumbasses and I don't want to deal with it. I'll do the project.
Ah, so
Like,
you
'cause
were
I'm
the
smart-
you were the stuck-up
'cause I'm smarter
asshole.
than
I
you.
got you.
Yeah, I was the asshole, yeah. So like, you know, I was kind of a prick and I was like, I'll just do it because, you know, I know I'm going to do a better job.
That's
so I
actually
did,
really
like,
funny.
everything. I mean, I was with a bunch of slackers and shit too, so like whatever.
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
was- So I you know, I did a lot of shit, but I could have just delegated and been like, listen, you know, I know this, I know that, and you know, you got to get better at this, so you should study this and then come back with your group. I could have been like a good leader. I could have been charismatic, but I was just like, fuck it, I'll just do it. You know, like a fucking asshole thing to do. What an asshole thing to do, right?
It is a
so-
selfish asshole thing to do, but you live and you learn.
But of course, yeah, you become a better person. That's one thing I pride myself on is when I make mistakes, I try to become a better person and go forward and learn. Like I've made a lot of mistakes, all right? You guys aren't going to hear all of them, but I made a lot of mistakes. But I learn from them and move on and become a better person, and I don't dwell on it. And when I see that I have certain failings, like I wasn't charismatic, I was very self-centered, didn't know how to deal with people. So I became an English teacher and was like, well, now I have to be really empathetic, really charismatic, and deal with 30 kids in a classroom that have their attention on me. And so I learned, you know, and I got better at that kind of thing. Got better public speaking, got better dealing with people, got better dealing with coworkers in a professional setting. And that led, and then I started YouTube, and if you look at my first video, I'm awful. Oh my God. And yeah, like I was terrible at it, but I was like, ooh, man, I like this because I'm uncomfortable. And like, because I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to improve. I'm going to become a better person just because like, this is so out of left field.
I think it's funny that you mentioned this because I am a firm believer that this exact thing, like charisma, not necessarily empathy, but charisma, just being able to publicly speak and so on, it's an attitude thing. If you have the attitude of I'm good at this, then you will be good at it. Charisma comes, people who are charismatic, they know that they are charismatic, so they become more charismatic as a turn, as like a byproduct. Yeah. I think it's 100% an attitude thing. Okay, so a little story from me. This is very fast forward from this like 7 years straight. 2011, I moved from where I lived to a different city because my mom wanted to live with her boyfriend. So we moved cities. So I lost all my friends, obviously. I didn't talk to anyone. I was the weird kid who sat with his hoodie in the corner of the classroom, didn't talk to anyone, so on and so forth. That lasted until 2016 when I decided I'm going to move school. I'm gonna go to a high school where I know nobody. I knew absolutely zero people. I had gone from 5th grade up until 10th grade not talking to. I talked to like 2 people. I had 2 friends. I left the house twice. I had no friends basically, and I came to high school, first day of high school. I was really outgoing, and all it was me faking to myself, telling myself, I'm a very charismatic person, I'm sociable, and I can do this. And I became like one of the more popular kids after not talking to basically a soul for like 5 years straight, because I told myself, I know I'm charismatic, I know how to talk to people, I'm confident in my own ability to do it, so I'm gonna do it. I'm a very sociable person because I told myself I'm a sociable person.
It's mind over matter. Yeah.
Mind over matter, 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Confidence helps you so much. It's insane.
It is. A lot of people have a problem getting over like the fear, though. You know, and the fear is different for everyone. Fear of getting over that. Like for some people, it's really easy to say. Like for me now, like honestly, at my age, all the shit that I've done, like in my life, like the sketchy situations I've put myself in to become better as a person, like I can literally do anything. Like if someone was like, hey,
same.
Let's go do this crazy ass thing, let's just go like skydive, jump out of a plane, I'd be like, that sounds cool, let's just go.
Dude, I want to do that so bad. I so want to do that.
Me
Fucking
too.
imagine. The first thing I'm thinking about, like, just get like a knockoff, like really shitty phone, like one that I'm not bothered losing, right? and then have like a GoPro and just like skydiving while playing Geometry Dash. That would be a top tier video. That'd be so good. That'd be so
That would
good.
be pretty good.
That'd be
Dude,
such a
I mean,
great video.
I don't think GD YouTube would ever be the same. I don't think they'd be able to catch up.
That
to
would be peak content. Peak
would be,
content,
yeah.
dude. No
Dude,
one's ever gonna
I've
top
got-
that. That's the greatest video on the internet, basically.
Yeah,
Beating
I've gone
Deadlock
paragliding
2,000,
before.
like 10,000 feet up into the air, skydiving, bro. People would lose their shit.
Oh yeah, I'd be the one filming it too.
Yeah, you're just gonna jump
you'd
with me,
swap
like
between the
camera.
GoPro cam and between me, like.
That was
side.
so awesome.
Yeah, no, I've done a lot of cool stuff, like stuff that's got me out of my comfort bubble before, like
Mhm.
just little things, you know, like a lot of people have a fear of like traveling to a different country, right?
Mhm.
For me, it was like a fear of just traveling in general, and then I went to South Korea and taught, and I was like, okay, well, I've been to like a first world country and you know, taught there. Now I have no fear of going to any first world country. And then I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? One day I just for a 2-week vacation, I went to the south of Vietnam, and I bought a motorcycle for like $200, and I just drove it for 2 weeks to North Vietnam.
That sounds so fun. I really want to do something like that one
Dude,
day.
it was awesome, man. That was like one of the greatest. That was the greatest trip of my life. Yeah, I was just all by myself. Just packed my bag like on the back of the motorcycle on this like junker like piece of shit. So many situations, so many crazy situations happened on that trip that like made me just comfortable with like anyone, like in third world country, first world country. Vietnam's not really a third world country. It's
Yeah.
a poorer country than like, you know, South Korean stuff. But like I met so many nice people. Like one time I was driving and it was during the Lunar New Year's, which actually is Lunar New Year's right now, which is the basically Chinese New Year's, which is like a 3-day celebration. And during that time, nothing's open in like Vietnam, China, like Korea, like nothing's open. So I was driving, I was like, fuck, there's like no restaurants. And I saw this family. I stopped at this restaurant, but there was just a family there, like, this is just like a family eating here, like we're not open. I was like, that sucks. And the guys are like, come to the back.
That sounds
like,
so shady.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, whatever. They seem nice, and okay, whatever. So I went to the back there, and they're like, you can come have like Chinese or like our Vietnamese, the Lunar New Year's. You can come have Lunar New Year's feast with us. And I was like, whoa,
so awesome.
dude, really? And so like I had this like just this random like family in like rural Vietnam. I was just having like this Lunar New Year's feast, and this one guy brings out this gigantic like bamboo pipe with like a what's it called, with a bowl at the top, and he's smoking like tobacco out of it, this huge thing like longer than our arm. He's like, come smoke tobacco with me. So I was just like sitting on the side of this Vietnamese road with like this giant ass fucking bamboo pipe, like smoking tobacco and drinking a beer and having some food. It was great, man. And
Not to say anything, but that image there was thumbnail material, 100%.
Yeah, like shit like that, man. Like I was like terrified before going on that trip.
That sounds
Like,
so
of, like,
fun though. That sounds like something I would
situations
love
like
to do.
that,
I really
you know?
want to go
So-
like a month on like a backpacking trip through Africa or something. You get a lot of crazy
Yeah.
stories. You get a lot of fun experiences.
That'd be
I'm
cool,
kinda like-
man. Man, if you're interested, I would love to just take someone like someday, you know, when my kid's a little older, just all you do, go to Vietnam. You can buy a motorcycle for like $200 or $300. And then when I was finished with it,
Mhm.
when I was finished with like, I bought it for like $200 or $300, and then I sold it in the north of Vietnam to like the same company for like $200. And I had literally paid like $100 for like a motorcycle for 2 weeks.
That's insane. I said this in
Yeah.
2017, I think, but when the time comes, I am going to South Korea, and we're gonna go on some backpacking trip or something.
That sounds cool. There's lots of like hiking, like day hikes and stuff. Like, I mean, there's a couple like multi-day hikes, but there's just cool places to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Let's
live in a
ask
peaceful
chat
place.
some
I just bought-
stuff.
I
We've
just
kind of
bought
like
an
neglected
apartment.
chat a little bit. Let's ask if they have some fancy, cool questions.
Sure. I mean, I
We've
got
kinda gotten to that point.
Like 1:15 a.m. So
Yeah, we'll answer a couple and then just move on with our life, because you should be getting to bed, and I have Erebus
just
to
bought-
grind.
one last thing. So when you come to Korea, I bought a an apartment recently, and we're gonna be moving in there in like 5 months or something. And I literally live like 2 blocks away from the beach. like in one of the
Ooh.
nicest. It's really cool. Like lots of people live in Seoul, in the capital, because that's where all the jobs are. But I live in like the second largest city in like one of the districts where people who have the luxury of like working at home or have second homes, they just like come to this place and like live by the beach. So I'm like,
That
I'm a
sounds awesome.
YouTuber. Fuck, why would I want to live in Seoul? I'm gonna live at the beach. It's great. Come here and visit, and like we can just like hang out.
Also, your camera's dying a little bit. It's lagging. It's probably running out of battery.
No, it's connected. Like it never runs out of battery.
That's odd then, because it's a little bit laggy. I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but on mine it's like
That is weird.
stuttery.
No, mine it's fine on my screen. I'll just turn it off and turn it back on.
Yeah, I probably do that.
I don't know.
There we go.
Maybe
Now it's
better.
I like this question just because I wanna. You've answered it to me before, but your favorite anime and why?
I mean, I have a whole video on YouTube if you guys are interested. My top 10 anime, which still remains up. But my
Is it still
favorite
relevant though?
is probably Evangelion. Yeah.
I need to watch that. Once I'm done with Banana Fish that I'm currently watching, I'm gonna be going through Attack on Titan. I watched the first 2 seasons, then I just kind of stopped with it after that because I watched it once it aired, and I've heard a lot of good about season 3 and 4. So I'm gonna be watching that after I'm done with Banana Fish, which is probably today, starting tomorrow.
I got to catch up on Attack on Titan. I only watched season 1 when it first came out, and then I haven't seen any since. Yeah.
Oh, look at Wada coming out with the shots fired saying Evangelion was boring AF.
Yeah, well, the thing is Evangelion, like a lot of people that watch Evangelion, they watch it from the perspective of like, man, I want to see cool mecha fights. And there are cool mecha fights, but it's basically like a psychological horror.
Yeah.
It's not about the mecha fights, really. It's about the psyche of all the characters. Like, and how they interact with
I've
each
never
other
been like a
in this,
huge fan of like action stuff when it comes to anime. I've always been like I'm more of a like slice of life or just drama and romance. Those are like my things. I don't know why. I have no clue why, because I don't like regular movies with that's like drama or romance. Just anime for some reason.
Gotcha.
Romance anime is awesome.
Yeah,
my favorite being
like
Your Lie in
romance
April.
anime too. I always like my romance mixed with a bit of fantasy though. Like I love kind of like the supernatural.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Stuff.
Dude,
Evangelion's fucked up. Like it's like I have no qualms in saying like Evangelion is really fucked up. But it's because it's fucked up, it's really deep. Like it's like if you basically were like, hey, like they get these 14-year-old pilots to like pilot these Avas because they can psychologically link with them, and they're like actually organisms. Like these like mechas are like living things, right?
Yeah.
They're the only ones. So like they have to use like young pilots, and it's about like their like psychology, like, and about like the adults that are like forcing them in to pilot them, like how like fucked up the relationship is between like everyone in that dynamic, you know, like these children being put into like life and death situations. And a lot of animes like, oh, these kids know how to fight. They're like, I'm so powerful. When you hit me, I get more powerful, you know? And like, that shit's cool. That shit's cool. Honestly, I love like shonen shit, you know, love like One Piece, Naruto and stuff. But like in Ava, it's like, man, this is how it would actually like damage these people. Like this is the byproduct of like that happening.
It sounds
and, like,
really cool. I'll probably end up watching it.
Because of that, it's fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Also, someone asked about Ghibli. Well, Ghibli's pretty okay, I would say.
Oh yeah, Ghibli's great.
Gotta love Ghibli, dude. Howl's Moving Castle is one of my favorite movies of all time. So good. Question, you have girlfriends? I'm very single. Eric doesn't have a girlfriend. He has a wife. Different thing.
I have a few girlfriends, yeah.
You have a few. A little bit of a pimp, but that's okay. That's normal.
FLCL's great, Floroni. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's cool.
Congrats, Eric.
I have no deep opinions about it. I just think it's like it's such a bizarre show. It's one of those like must-watch shows. Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I don't know, when it comes to like opinions and stuff, I'm like very neutral on a lot of things. I kind of like, I'm always the kind of person who's always been like, if I don't know enough about it, I don't really want to put out an opinion. I kind of like have to have a deeper sense of knowledge of something and understanding of something if I want to put out an opinion. I kind of do that with levels as well. People are like, oh, Aeon, is this good? And I'm like, I don't know. I've seen a video of it. That's about it. And I feel like that's kind of what I think about everything. Like, if I know, like, ish how something go, like, I know ish how certain games go, but I can't really put an opinion out there because I don't really know much about them. I'm kind of, like, neutral. I'm a very neutral person in most things, unless I know extensive knowledge about something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I get asked a lot of questions on stream as well that I'm just like a lot of people ask such general questions though. Hey Eric, what do you think of Yatagarasu? I'm like, it's a
cool.
hard, cool level. Yeah, like what do you want from me? Like, you want to be like, well, actually, it's kind of controversial if you think about it, because when Tristan nerfed like that one spike over like 58%, like I was thinking like what do you want from me? Like, what do you fucking want from me?
Can someone clip that? I gotta send that to Costa. I mean, I don't blame you though. I feel like people a lot of people just assume that us who make a living off geometry have like profound opinions about everything.
Fuck me, bro.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Virtual hug.
Which is
Yeah, it's very strange.
kind of stupid if you ask me. But hey, their choice, I suppose.
Yeah.
Can't be opinionated on everything. That'll be a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like some things it's just like, yeah, that thing exists. Cool, you know, like.
That's an interesting observation, actually. Personally, I feel like EVW sugarcoats a lot of terrible levels just to make everyone happy and I respect it. I kind of feel like that's kind of necessary at a certain point. I feel like as you get bigger, you kind of have to sugarcoat things just so, like, you don't make people upset, because some people can't really differentiate between reality and opinion, and, like, can't differentiate someone's opinion from their own.
I would say it's not even to make them, I mean, I guess like not make them feel bad, but it's like you don't want to discourage people, right? Like,
yeah,
in my video that's about to come out where it's like, do your levels deserve a star rating? Like there was one guy who sent one to me and it's not a good level, but like it had some like cohesion in gameplay, and I was just like, I wasn't like, this level shit. I was like, dude, I was like, good first attempt. There's some cohesion here. Like, I would like it if you continued creating. Maybe you can create something better next time. Like, I'm not like, your level sucks ass, bro. Why'd you send it to my?
Yeah.
Does your level deserve a star rating when clearly it doesn't? You know, and then that person's like, oh man, I feel so terrible now. You know, like.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I've been kind of bad about that in the past. I've gotten a lot better at it now, but that's because I'm generally like, if I don't intend on beating a level, like I'm the worst with that when it comes to like the roulette and stuff. When I've done the roulette, I've been like, giving me something like tempered steel or something, which I'm not a huge fan of, like, at all. I just bash on it unnecessarily, and I realize it took me like a little knock to my head to realize that, oh, I actually have a big audience and a lot of people are gonna hear me say that. I should probably not be that mean.
Yeah,
but it's more like, well, I don't personally
levels,
like it, but I'm kind of like unnecessarily harsh.
Yeah, some levels you're allowed to. Like levels that have a lot of extreme popularity, that there's so many people that absolutely adore, where if you're like, oh, well, controversial opinion, I'm not a big fan of this, it's like not that big of a deal, you know?
I get flamed so much for not liking Sonic Wave. Holy fuck.
I mean, what? It's just fucking Sonic Wave. Who gives a shit? Like there's some levels, like, I mean, I shit all over Aftermath when I was playing it. I was like, this dog shit wave at the beginning, I fucking hate it, and I was so pissed off. Like, I don't sugarcoat everything. Like, I disliked the level angrily. I was like, I wish I could dislike this multiple times, you piece of shit. And, like, I didn't put that into the video. A little embarrassing, but I did do that on stream.
Yeah, I get that. I get that comment every now and then,
pissed.
because I very rarely include me getting angry or me getting really annoyed in videos. Like, I never include that. So I'm like, oh, I got really annoyed with this level and I got very, very angry about it. Like with Red World Rebirth, but I had not a single moment of me being annoyed in the video, except for like one attempt because I got 88 or whatever. As people were like, but you didn't seem to get that annoyed at the level. And I was like, yeah, because I don't want to show myself throwing a temper tantrum like a 4-year-old on video. That's kind of stupid. I want to make the video enjoyable. I don't want to look like a toddler. Sure.
Yeah, well, honestly, looking like a toddler, some people enjoy watching that. Oh, look at Aeon break down.
Dude, fucking.
But clearly, but that's one thing where people enjoy, but we ourselves, no, like, don't want to show that part, right?
Yeah. Look at my chair, beautiful, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow.
Fucking the stupid ass sword dance. Never play that level, please.
Dude, yeah, I used to get a lot angrier in my older videos.
Yeah,
sure.
I just don't personally like showing like that kind of sensitive side, if that makes sense. I
Yeah.
don't care about showing like emotional stuff, like happiness stuff, but like rage is just such a vulnerable situation where it's just like out of control, and you can have those like moments where it's just like that's not who you are. That is just your anger getting the best of you, and I don't like showing that personally. I know some people like it. That's like part of Brandon Larkin's brand almost, but it's just not for me.
Well, dude, Brandon Larkin, honestly, like, he's very unique in the sense that
His rage is funny.
He knows people love his rage, and like he's trying to be funny a lot of the time. Like, he's not actually angry. Like, there's times where he just kind of hits his desk, and then he's just like, he tilts his head to the side like this, and he just looks off in the distance for like 20 seconds. And then he just gets up and like goes to his blinds and opens them or something, you know, like, God, he knows he's being funny. Like, he's not actually like really angry. Like,
Yeah, it's more like this would be funny if I did this kind of situation.
Exactly.
It's like
yeah.
scripted,
I mean,
but
you
like
can see
not
it
really. It's
sometimes,
improv. I kind of see Brandon's rage as kind of like improv a lot of the time, which is he
Yeah.
recognizes the fact that people like it and that it would be funny, so he just does it, kind of situation.
Yeah, and he makes it funny, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's cool. He puts a creative spin on it. It's very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Then we have people like Dorami. I can't tell whether or not his stuff is scripted half the time. Like the Yatagarasu thing, where it was like, yeah! And then he just stares at it for like 30 seconds. I cannot tell if that's genuine or if that is scripted, like at all. It's so
Yeah.
funny, but I can't tell
Yeah.
whether or not that was made up or if that's just his genuine reaction. Like, I genuinely cannot tell.
I think he's just naturally funny. Yeah.
He really is. It's
Oh, yeah.
that clip is so funny. The Yatagarasu clip where he beat it in practice mode is
Yeah,
so
in practice,
good.
Yeah.
That's
That is
probably my
good.
favorite
That's
GD
really
clip of all
funny.
time. It's so good.
Yeah.
Ah, I fucking love Dorami, dude. Can't get
Yeah,
over
he's
how
good.
awesome Dorami is. Oh god, we've gone for 2.5 hours. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm tired. I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, I think you should get to bed, dude.
Yeah.
It was really fun though. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed this. This was a very good time.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, if you guys want to see us like shoot the shit again in a couple weeks after I move, we'll do it again. Maybe if we make a GD podcast, we can get a new guest on every time.
Hell yeah. I feel like that would be fun. I feel like that would be a really good
Yeah.
time.
We
I
could
want to do
that,
this
like a
more with other people as well.
three-way.
I want to get Trust on this. I want to get Viper on stuff like this. People that I have like extensive history with. Just like have a
Dude,
conversation with.
I'll get Dorami on here.
Yo, that would actually be so fun. I would like to like speak with Dorami about that. Just like learn a little bit more about him.
Topi, me and Dorami are gonna be doing a song.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm excited for that. That's gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
So I got in touch with Dorami for like the first time because I know Topi. I talk with Topi a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I got Dorami on like Kakao Talk, which is like the messenger app now. And
Yeah.
so maybe I can bring like one of them on. If we do like a podcast, we could do like me and you are like the normal members,
Mhm.
and then like we just have like a third, kind of like Pan and Vibrant.
Yeah,
They're
that'd be
always
fun.
there
I think
in
that would be
their,
great.
like, races, and then we could bring in like a side person.
Yeah,
Like a guest each time. Yeah.
yeah, because I feel like you and I would just have a really naturally nice flow to our conversations. We just kind of like
Yeah, for
work
sure.
well. That's why I
Yeah,
think
like-
that's part of the reason why our races do as well as they do, because people just like hearing us talk.
Oh yeah, like a lot of the comments are like, "Whoa, I forgot they were playing GD." It's like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
podcast.
It's fun. Now they don't have to
Of
watch us
course.
play GD. Now they can just hear us talk shit for a couple hours.
Yeah, of course. In my normally these days very family-friendly YouTube channel, there's
Mhm.
going to be a lot of talk about some guy masturbating on meth and fighting off a police officer, which is gonna
Oh
be
my god, it's gonna be so fun. I
very-
can't wait for that one angry mom commenting on your video. How can you talk about a man from Massachusetts high on meth, masturbating, fighting cops in a bar, Eric? My 5-year-old
Yeah.
son watches you.
Oh my god, yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Oh,
I
that's
was
so
thinking, I was
funny.
like, man, how am I gonna edit this? I was like, should I put a disclaimer at the beginning? Like, you should be at least like 15 to watch this video or something. Just like, shit.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
What am I
I'm
gonna
so
do?
excited. Comments are gonna be a mess,
Yeah.
but hey, it's worth it.
Oh,
it's
whatever.
worth
I've
it.
I literally, if they look at my oldest videos, I'm like playing this gun game where I'm shooting a tentacle monster down from like touching a girl in weird places. I mean, what the fuck, whatever.
Oh, that's so good. That's so funny. I'm excited. We'll talk more about that later. Anyway, this was very fun. I had a really good time.
Yeah, for sure. That was good.
It was
yeah, and,
swell.
we'll do more. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Thanks for having me on the stream.
No
and
problem.
I'll catch all of you later, chat. I'm gonna miss you too.
I'll talk to you later, dude. Have a good one. Rest
Peace.
well.
Will do.
Peace out.